Hello, welcome to Directly to You. Welcome back. We did this before. You know, it's same old Directly to You. But anyway, welcome back after years and years and years. It's really just like episode 1, season 2. You know what I mean?
Dude, I feel good about this.
Episode 1, season 2. I'm AJ, but you know that already. I'm joined by Dusty Go-Goat of Dusty Go-Goat and Hidden Power Podcast, both linked in the description.
The premier Pokemon podcast. That it will be my contributions to this stream.
He's going to talk about so many Pikachus and no Go-Goats.
I'm thrilled to be here.
Ironically enough,
Go-Goats,
which is crazy to me.
Go-Goat is in Scarlet and Violet. We could do it.
He is in Scarlet and Violet.
We could pull something off.
They're in Scarlet and Violet. But anyway, you can support this show by going to the links in the description. Things are a little different now. I'm not on Patreon anymore. It's shop.watchredirect.com. You can help support by getting merch and becoming a member. You get perks and whatnot, like wallpapers and such. It's a great old good time, man. But anyway, what we're here for today is we're ranking every Nintendo Switch 1 game because Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out and mere sleeps. 2.5 sleeps, we decided. That means I'm shooting my original Nintendo Switch into the sun and never looking at it again after Smash Tuesday. And then, you know, we'll be able to live a better life. But for now,
it's gonna be so good, man. New era, new Nintendo era. I'm pumped. Pokemon is gonna be. All right, I gotta dial down the Pokemon hype, but Pokemon's gonna be 60 FPS.
That is true.
Can you believe that, AJ? Oh my god.
I can actually, but that might be blasphemous.
Dude. It's been a dream. It's been a dream.
But
AJ, AJ, before we get, listen, this is a daunting list right here. Okay, I want to say I'm grateful to be on this show. I want to shout out your community. I want to shout out you. I want to shout out this podcast feed. This show got me through some of the darkest days of my at my day job that I used to have before my life changed. I
appreciate that.
But like, yeah, you guys got me through the pandemic. You guys got me through when I thought my job was a prison. You know, shit's good now. I just swore. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get kicked off. Oh my god,
no!
I'm panicking.
We don't do that on this show.
No!
Oh, it's all good.
Listen, I'm happy to be here, and yeah, dude, I'm excited to kick off the unofficial episode 1, season 2.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back, man. I like doing the podcast, but it was too much work. But now it's not. See, the thing is, like, part of it was a mental block for me because so much of the way I thought about the podcast was like in the way that it needed to be done before. So I'm like, the way that my schedule is now, I can't do the podcast that it like in the way that it was done before. But I'm just like, it's just me, so I don't have to frame it in the same way. So like,
I'm here.
I'm thinking, well, I just meant like it's before the podcast was shuffled around for various people that were not me. But now it's just like, it's whatever my schedule says it should happen. Like part of it was like, well, I stream now. I can't do the podcast because I stream. When am I going to be able to stream and also do the podcast? And I'm like, wait, I stream now. I could just do the podcast on stream.
Brother.
So that's what it is.
Dude. You're doing it.
So we're here and we're doing it and we're back. And I've gotten a lot of people that are like, man, I missed the podcast. I wish the podcast was back. The podcast is back. We're here. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. We're ranking Nintendo Switch games.
Oh, this is sick. This is so good.
So
tell me this. Do you have like a little story to set up like the emotions of your first Switch console?
So the Switch. So for me, the Switch is a lot of firsts in terms of like me doing this, because like I was doing YouTube like right before Switch. It was ironically enough. The me starting YouTube was off the not in the beginning of Wii U, but it was like Splatoon was coming out, Bloodborne, The Witcher, like a whole bunch of like really sick games were coming out. I was like, yo, I want to talk about this. I think I'll be good at talking about video games. I should start a YouTube channel. So I started a YouTube channel and I wanted to like talk about Splatoon and all that kind of stuff. One of my first videos is me and Bob ranking 2015 video games. Because we both like Phantom Pain and Splatoon a lot. Or not Splatoon, he liked Mario Maker. It was Mario Maker and Metal Gear Phantom Pain. So I had Bob on the video. Long story short, after doing all that stuff, Bob hit me up and he was like, "Yo, I got an in to get into the Nintendo Switch preview event.
Ooh.
So I can help you get in." And I was like, "Okay, sick. I'm coming to New York. We're gonna go to the preview event. We're gonna play the video games. We're gonna talk about it on YouTube.com, all that good old dear stuff." So that was my first experience with Nintendo Switch, was at that preview event, which was very sick. It was like this whole thing of like when they first showed it, like, because going into Switch, people are like, "Will this thing even work?" You know? Like the idea of Nintendo Switch of like, it works on the TV and it works at home. It's a console. It's a handheld.
So novel at that time. 100%. 100%.
So it's just
and it's honestly crazy that it's like made such an impact that now going into the Switch 2, the Switch really is the like definitive, I guess, like concept or the definitive like model for a, you know, for Nintendo
Right.
games. This is like the new iPhone, right? It's the blueprint for which they can like iterate going forward, at least into the Switch 2 era. Yeah, listen, my car got totaled. I got to pick up this call right now from a mechanic, but please keep going. And listen, if you keep listening to the podcast later in the show, I'll tell you what happened.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. I'm gonna mute myself.
So yeah, like first year with Nintendo Switch, it was like this whole thing of like, will it work? And I know a lot of people at the preview event specifically were like just trying to see if like, could we dock it and undock it? And it was like this whole thing of like, well, I guess they're going to be like cagey about it. They're not going to want you to hold it. It's like something that they're not going to be, like that they're going to like be super protective of, because to us, we didn't even know if it would, like if it worked in the way that it does. Like now it's like this super like, innocuous thing of like, well, why would they be cagey about that? It just works. It's just like you undock the Switch and it's not like there's no big loading screen or like cutscene situation. It just undocks and then it turns on again. First time undocking Switch was mind blowing. Yeah. And like when I first got my Nintendo Switch, there's like the whole story of like, so leading into it, they had like the marketing campaign with like Nintendo Switch Karen and all, like, you know, they did the thing where it's like they showed all these theoretical scenarios of like, oh, well, you might be able to I mean, you might play the Switch in this you know, way with people, like on road trips and in stadiums and on the airplane and at parties and all that kind of stuff, and just various things of people being like, you're not going to do that, you're not going to do that, you're not going to do that. And one of the first things that it occurred to me was like, I'm in a Nintendo Switch ad, was the day that I got it. I got my Switch. I was like staying over my friend's house. I don't remember why, but I was over my friend's house for like a week, and I had my Switch from Amazon shipped to my friend's house. So I got it. I started playing Breath of the Wild. I was playing Breath of the Wild for like half an hour or something like that. And my friend was like, yo, I want to go to Walmart. I want to get some food. Do you want to come? And I was like, I'm playing Zelda. I don't want to go to Walmart. And then I thought about it for half a second. And I was like, wait, I'm playing Zelda on the Nintendo Switch. I can just take it with me. And this is like a complete, like unironic, like this wasn't a bit, like I like had that full thought process of like, no, man, I'm playing Zelda. It's like, I just got this thing. So like that was so cool of being able to just be like, I'm just okay, I'll go with you, and I'm going to take the Switch and I'm going to sit in the car and you're going to go do whatever you're going to do, and I'm going to keep playing Zelda. I'm going to go through this shrine. I'm going to find Korok seeds and all the other nonsense. It was, you know, great old dear time. But something that we can do, because what Dusty will explain and expand on when he gets back, I'm sure, is he's like, you know, Pokemon guy. So a lot of the games on here he may or may not have played. I have the understanding that like the Mario games he's played, and like Zelda and like, you know, so like the super big stuff he's played. So I'm going to save those. But I'm going to start ranking and will revise if Dusty has any objections to what I want to do. For podcast listeners, for audio listeners, I'm going to tell you what game it is. I'm going to explain the tiers, and I'm going to tell you what tier I'm going to put it in. But also this is on youtube.com/directly to you if you want to watch the video version, or if you're on Spotify And if you're on directly you on YouTube and you want to listen to it on podcast services, it's on all the podcast services. Just search directly to you on your podcast service and you should find it. Or go to YouTube and you could, find it linked in the description and whatnot. But anyway, let's start ranking. 1-2 switch. Off rip, we're starting with a controversial game that the Nintendo community would want me to put in bad, I'm sure. I'm sure that the Nintendo community wants me to put it in bad, or even not great, or even mid. But I'm going to put it in good, because I think that this game did a really good job at what it is supposed to do, in the sense that for older gamers such as myself, and older than me, it like gives you cool novel ways to experience the features of Nintendo Switch, with like the HD rumble for the Joy-Con and like all that stuff. But even more than that, it's a game that children love. Children love this game. My oldest niece, who is 13 now, 15. She's not 15, 14. She's 14. She called the Nintendo Switch, and she was like 4. She was like 4 or 5 when the console actually came out. And she called it the 1-2 Switch. She's like, Uncle AJ, can we play the 1-2 Switch? Like, she didn't care about any other games. I tried playing Mario Kart with her. She doesn't care about Mario Kart. She didn't care about Snipper Clip. She didn't care about none of that stuff. Her game was 1-2 Switch. That was all she ever wanted to play. I don't think that there's a world where a Nintendo console and a Nintendo game can achieve that, and we can outright say that it is a bad game. Yeah, she's 14. Well, no, wait. Yeah, she's 14. She was born in 2011. It's 2025. Literally a New Year's baby. She's 14. I mean, 13. I'm so confused. She's 14. She's 14. She's 14. Anyway, she's obsessed with that game. She loves the game. So off the strength of that, I think it's fun. I think it does a good job at what it sets out to do. The only controversy is that gamers don't like paying for stuff, which, like, whatever, fine. I think the game did what it was trying to do. People that are in the target audience have fun with the video game. So I think that by all meaningful metrics, it's a good game. And then,
is it as good as Wii Sports? That's what I want to know.
Is it as good as Wii Sports? No.
Yeah,
it's not.
No,
but I would put Wii Sports in must have.
Oh,
because the thing about Wii Sports is if we're comparing 1-2 Switch to Wii Sports, that's a game that like people didn't like. So the framing of 1-2 Switch and now like Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is like, oh, there should have been a pack-in game like Wii Sports, because it's not worth that. But the way that people engaged with Wii Sports in the real world is Wii Sports was a $250 game. It wasn't.
Oh, dude, I love this. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
For the amount of value that you got out of Wii Sports, right? For the amount of people that would use one cartridge, or whatever disc,
disc,
right? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's like people would literally just buy a Wii, and that's it. It would come on Wii Sports, and that's the only game they ever played ever. Nursing homes around the world would buy Wiis, and they would play Wii Sports. Like, that's what the whole thing was, right? 1-2 Switch does not live up to that. But
it's good. It's not bad.
But it's not supposed to, and that's why I think that it's fine that it's just a standalone game, because it's like, if you want it, you could have it. If you don't, whatever. Wii Sports, if you had to buy that, I think it would sell more than 1-2 Switch, of course. But it wouldn't have had the impact that Wii as a platform wouldn't have had the impact that it did without Wii Sports in the way that they had that.
Yeah.
It was never about trying to make Wii Sports a successful game. Wii Sports being a pack-in was about making Wii a successful platform. Nintendo Switch is far and away a more successful platform, and it didn't need a pack-in. So that's what the whole thing is. Like, I think the game's good. Most of people's axe to grind with the game is that it wasn't free, and I think that's stupid. So good. And then so I don't think I ran through the tiers. Did I? No, I didn't. So the tiers in order from top to bottom.
Must have. Pokemon games are going to be at the top.
Absolutely. So for audio listeners specifically, if you're not listening on video,
it's
must have for the top tier. excellent, good, mid, not great, bad, and haven't played. So that's the tiers. Next up,
Listen, yeah.
Arms, Dusty.
And AJ, is this from like that last tier in particular where it says haven't played?
Yeah.
This is your definitive tier list. I feel like I should not.
It's both of us. If you've played
represent
it,
redirect. I don't know if I represent the pod. Just yet.
So it's both of us in the sense that like if one of us played it, that's where the rating is going to lean to. So like say you haven't played Arms, but I've played Arms. It doesn't go and haven't played because I've played it. Yeah. But like I haven't played Fire Emblem Warriors. I was just giving an example. Fire Emblem Warriors. I haven't played that. But if you've played it and you think it's pretty good, or wherever you think it is, that's where we could put it.
Yeah.
You know. So that's
this list is daunting. I didn't realize how many first party.
There's so many.
There actually are.
But a lot of them is going to be easy. I think it's just going to be like, oh, this game really good, really bad, meh. You know. We don't necessarily need to spend as much time talking about every game that we did went to Switch. That's just a big one. That's just a game that it's a contentious topic.
I like that you're advocating for it. That's good. There's a lot of I'll call out the podcast listeners. There's a lot of people who just they just assume that their opinion. They just assume the opinion of other people, of other YouTubers.
Right.
But not Jake. Sorry, I just did a stream with a different person. Sorry, I literally just did that like 2 hours ago. AJ, yeah, I appreciate that.
But yeah, you're right. Most people that I've had conversations with that like swear up and down that the game is bad, I ask them have they played the game, and the answer is no every time. So it's like, well, I have, and I know multiple people and children specifically that love the game. It's not even like a game that's like, oh, the game's pretty good. They love the game. It's their favorite game on the platform, kind of stuff. You don't do that unless the game is at least good.
Sure.
Next up, similar but not as big of a deal, Arms. This is another contentious game that people wanted to hate. I think the game's even better. I think the game's better than 1-2 Switch, to be honest.
Ooh.
I think the game's excellent.
So from what I remember playing Arms, my memory with Arms is I'd be at a college party and my friends would be playing their Switch and they'd be playing each other. They'd be playing Arms as if it was. It had the competition of Smash Brothers, but it was still a party game.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that line up?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is, right? I think a lot of people on the internet specifically, because this is how I've engaged with this game specifically. I haven't really engaged with. There's like certain examples, like my uncle, who's like, you hear uncle and you might think that he's like 20 years older than me. My uncle's 4 years.
Listen,
my uncle is 4 years older than me.
I'm an uncle.
So my uncle loved this game. Similar situation to this is a big reason why he got a Nintendo Switch. It's the first game that because he went to the preview event with me and Bob, because we both had +1s. So he went to the preview event with me. And that was the first game he wanted to play. But Bob talked me into my first game being Super Bomberman R, and I was very angry at him.
Sure.
Because games.
That one sounds pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, the game's really good. I think the problem is people's framing of the video game is that it's either they think that it should be Wii Sports or it should be a serious fighting game, and it's neither of those things. Yeah. It's like neither of those things and both at the same time. You know,
it's like buying Wii Sports and wanting to play, like wanting it to be FIFA 2026.
Exactly.
You know, and you're like, no, this is a party game first and foremost.
Yeah. It's like most Nintendo party games where like the people that look at it and dig deeper can find depth. Like there's depth there. It's a competitive game, but it doesn't need to be a competitive. It's like playing Smash Brothers. Like you could play Smash Brothers with somebody like me, and it's going to be a competitive experience. But then you could also play Smash Brothers with your niece or whatever, you know, and it'll be a whole different bag. That's what Arms is kind of like.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good at that, and it excels at a lot of different things. I think the character design's really good. I think that the like world building is decent. I think that the control scheme is fun. It's like one of those games that like when they made it, it's like, oh yeah, I could see this being a franchise kind of thing. Yeah. And I think that's saying a lot. Fire Emblem Warriors, I haven't played this
I haven't
game.
played it.
So we put it in haven't played.
Yeah. That feels good.
Yeah.
That feels good, AJ.
Yeah.
That feels
Accurate. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Do you have opinions on this?
good. Nope.
I have opinions on this. I don't like this game.
I think listen, I'm gonna go feed the dogs. I'll be right back.
Okay. I think this game.
I want to hear the opinions. Tell me the opinions.
Okay, we'll come back to this game. I'll keep it here. What can I rank next? What's a safe one that I don't think that Dusty has played? Well, we can do haven't played in the meantime. I haven't played for Flip Wars. I'm confident that Dusty probably hasn't played that either. What is this one? Oh, this is Labo. Ironically enough, this Labo I haven't played. Nintendo sent it to me though, but I assigned it to somebody else. So unfortunately, I didn't experience this one. Pokemon Quest. Wait, let's continue to just go through the haven't playeds. I have played this, so we'll get back to that. I haven't played this Labo kit or this Labo kit. This was another situation where Nintendo sent me this game, but I assigned it to somebody else. What is this one? Oh, this is a DLC. I haven't played the DLC. I have thoughts on the main game that led to me not caring about the DLC. I did play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. What is this? Brain Training. I haven't played. Pokemon. Well, obviously, Pokemon Sword. I've played. Ring Fit Adventure. I didn't play because again, that was another situation where the plan was to assign it to somebody else that was not me. So I didn't end up getting to play it. This I have played. I have played Labo VR, and I'm gonna assume that Dusty hasn't played it. And where I would put Labo VR is I'll put it in good. I think it's better than 1-2 Switch. I think Labo VR and the Labo like franchise in general is a really cool experience, but the thing that's cool about it, or the thing that's most cool about it, I don't think everybody would understand. Like it's so cool putting together something like that because and the way that they set it up for you, because it's like they're teaching you engineering. Like they're literally being like, yo, okay, put together this laser gun, and the way that it functions is by shining this infrared light from your Joy-Con off this reflective piece of plastic that is going to shine on the infrared sensor that's on the console itself. And, you know, like it's like that kind of stuff. It's like the act of putting the cardboard accessory together teaches the kid how the accessory works. The games themselves that are on there are like whatever. But I think the experience of putting it together and understanding how it works and the game teaching you about the tech in it is the sickest thing about it. And for that reason, I think it's like a hyper specific kind of value proposition. But I think for the kind of people that would like something like that, it's a great game. Okay, what else? What are other things that I haven't played?
Or just getting those out of the way?
Yeah, so in the times that you gotta leave, I'm just getting the ones that I haven't played out of the way. Because I don't know for sure what you haven't played and/or that you do and don't want to hear.
You've played way more than me.
Yeah, I assumed. So like, you see what I'm on? I'm sharing my screen on Discord. Okay.
Yeah, that all.
So you haven't played any of these games?
I lived with children for a while, and I wish they had Labo because that looked really.
They
fun.
would probably love it. I will say that. That's the explanation I was
it.
giving about Labo VR. I think Labo VR specifically is really good. I didn't get to play the other ones because Nintendo sent me all of the Labo things, but I assigned it to somebody else that was on the Fanatics 4 team at the time, because he had a kid. And I just thought it made more sense for him to have it. So he had it, and then he wrote an article about it when we used to have a website and blah, blah, blah. I didn't get to play it though, so I can't really speak to it. I wanted to, but again, he had a kid, so I was like, you can have it. You can cover this one. Mario plus Rabbids. This was a whole debacle. This isn't necessarily where I'm gonna put it, but this is where I'm gonna put it while we talk about it. This was a whole debacle. This game came out around the time when I was like streaming with Bob every week, and like me and Bob both vehemently were like, we don't like this game. both because it's not a gameplay type of thing that we want. Like, it's not the type of game that we would typically play. But also
Let me look
because
this up.
it's just like it just doesn't feel like a Mario thing, if that makes sense. Like,
Oh, okay. It didn't feel like Mario.
yeah, it felt like a shoot, not even like gameplay wise, but like it didn't feel like a brand match. It felt like they just shoehorned it in because they could.
Isn't it like it's like a PlayStation game, isn't it?
What do you mean?
The Rabbids?
It's so Rabbids, I think it's a Rayman spin-off. And
Yes.
when Rabbids first started, I think the first game's on Wii, but it's a multi-platform thing.
That makes sense.
Um,
Okay.
But that's not even necessarily why it feels like it doesn't fit. It's just because like Rabbids are basically minions, and
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, they're before minions technically, I think. But
They did
it
first.
felt like
No, I they have to be.
it felt like
Dude, Mario's got a gun.
yeah. Well, it's like
I kind of like this.
it's like a Mega Man blaster.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it just felt super forced. The gameplay was not our thing, and we didn't really like the video game.
The Princess Peach rabbit is kind of bad.
You mean like
No, I'm just kidding.
terrible?
I'm just kidding. No, no. I'm just kidding. It's a rabbit. Just kidding.
So I said mid probably isn't where I'm going to put it, but now that I talk about it, I'll put it in mid.
Does it like have you? Okay, yeah, sure. Listen,
Like, I think the game
can't-
is good at what it tries to do, but I just think what it's trying to do is not good. If that makes sense.
you sure. I'm looking at it. It looks like there's a lot of puzzles involved.
It's a RTS game,
What is that?
real-time strategy.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
So it's like I don't know if you ever heard of like XCOM. That's basically what the video game is. It's XCOM.
I can visualize what those other games look like.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my mind, they're usually like battleships and stuff,
Yeah,
right? Or like
it's
tanks,
like that
tanks,
kind of
and
vibe.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of fun. That like this is a version. This is like a way for Mario to do this. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think they could have did it with just
I haven't
Mario,
played it.
and it would have fit better.
Yeah. Sure,
but
yeah.
this one obviously Mario
You know what
Kart
it should
8
have been?
Deluxe.
It should have been Mario. It should have been Mario in Pikmin.
Yeah, I would have been down for that.
That crossover, because all they
them
were
are is
looking for were, like,
literally-
weird little guys.
It's literally an anagram for Mario. So like, yeah, with an L in it. It's Mario
Sure.
plus Luigi's L. But yeah, no, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, obviously bad. No, I'm joking. It's a must-have. Although, I mean, Dusty,
No, but is it
Okay,
really that
thoughts?
good of a game?
thoughts?
Is it that good of a game?
Me?
Isn't it just the Wii U game?
So to me, absolutely not. It's not that good of a game. I think that Mario Kart 8 is in contention for best Mario Kart game ever. But I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just feels like, as somebody that did have a Wii U, it feels like such a step back. Like,
Then why would it be in a must-have?
Because
Shouldn't that be mid?
because most of the world didn't have a Wii U. So I think that it's
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I think that it makes like this was one thing that like so I have this whole
it brought it
thing
to the masses. I get what you're
about
saying.
ports and remasters and stuff like that. Like I made a video about this where it's like in general I think that they're kind of like whack, like in the sense that like they're not super exciting a lot of the time, but I think that it's super like it's also one of those things that's super relative and subjective, because like if you love the game and you just want to be able to play it more easily and like have it feel modern, and I just mean like remasters in general, then a remaster is exciting. It's really hyped to see a game that you've always loved, but like maybe you don't play it anymore because you don't have that console, or again it's aged poorly and you just want it to feel like it should feel in 2025.
Yeah.
In that scenario, they're exciting. But every other scenario, it's like, this game already existed. I don't care about this game, blah, blah, blah. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is that situation where it's like,
Valid.
it's relative, but also it's like, as somebody that tries to see it from all angles to be able to like fairly judge things, I think it's hard to argue that it didn't make sense for them to remaster this game. Like, a remaster
absolutely.
that
at the time that like honestly no one wants to admit it, but like most of the identity of Switch, most of the games are just Wii U ports.
Yeah, it's a Wii U Trojan horse. It's like
literally,
it's like y'all didn't buy this before. And see, but that's the thing.
Like, and that's what people used to say. People used to say the Wii U had the best games, and then I remember the discussion was Nintendo should stop making consoles, and the Switch was like, no,
exactly,
we're just making consoles. No good games. They're all gonna be Wii U games, but we're gonna make the best console of all time.
Exactly.
Insane.
Exactly.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So what's the framework that we're looking at this tier list? Is this our personal list? Is this like
it's our personal list,
retrospective?
But it's like how I just tried to explain to you with like in terms of like how I try to contextualize things usually.
We're being a little objective.
Like my first consideration is always like, do I think that this is cool, right?
Yeah.
But there's always going to be part of it that's like, okay, but like, can I see an argument to the contrary?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That can not necessarily supersede that, but can better rationalize how I feel about it personally. Where it's like, I don't dislike Mario Kart 8. And I think the things that I don't like about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in the context of the world is irrational. I think that is unfair for me as somebody that is like part of less than 1% of the broader Switch ecosystem to feel like they should tailor their release schedule to me. You know what I mean? Like and like if I thought that Mario Kart 8 was a bad game and they re-released it, it would be a whole different story. I would put it in bad and not feel anything about it. But I think Mario Kart 8 is a phenomenal game. It's just a game that I already got my fill of on Wii U. So I personally am like, but for everybody else that didn't play 500 hours of it on Wii U, you know, it's a great game.
Yeah, true. All right, let's see what's next.
All right, so Pokken. This is something you played Pokken? It's a Pokemon game.
Not really.
You didn't play Pokken? Do you have Pokken?
I played it.
Okay.
I think I played it on the Wii U in college.
Okay.
And I thought it was pretty tough. But I don't like fighting games. I do remember spending a lot of time playing that like Naruto game. That Naruto like fighting game. That was fun.
Which one? There's many. Storm?
I know. Well, I'm one of them. I don't know I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
there was a million characters. It was so much fun.
Oh, it was probably Storm then.
I played as Rock Lee.
Yeah, it was probably Storm. Oh, you got to talk to Lee. But yeah.
But I'll be honest with you. Yeah. So like, okay, what was this game trying to do? This was kind of like the Rabbids thing, where it's like the Pokemon Company wants to take the IP and apply it to a more serious fighting video game. And I think they did a lot of really cool things. They even bended the lore a little bit. We got like Megas involved. We got a
like a new kind of trainer. And it's like they're kind of like a trainer, but they're also kind of not, because they have like this like holographic Link situation. Is like in a new region. There's like shadow Pokemon that are kind of weird.
For sure.
The Shadow Mewtwo and whatnot.
Yep. It's cool. And they did a lot of fan service with like even the picks that they decided on, you know, like the type of Pokemon.
Like Krogunk. Why is Krogunk in this game?
Yeah. Or even like Decidueye was selected as a character. And it's actually right there on the box art. I'll be honest with you though.
That's for the Switch version.
I feel like I cannot give you a proper rating for this. Okay. I did not play it in a serious manner, so I'm gonna default to.
I played it. I played it a decent amount on Wii U. I got it on Switch. I played it and I had fun with it on Switch. But I'm somebody like, you know, how I play Smash Brothers. I wanted to play this game, but I didn't have a group of friends that wanted to play this game in that way. I've been trying to play it, like to pick it up and like learn this game in that kind of like more competitive way with my friend Lee.
Was there even an online, like a way to play online at the time?
Yeah. You could do like a whole thing. You could do like 3v3s, like a actual Pokemon battle kind of thing. It's sick. Sure. I think the game's really cool. I just haven't been able to dive into it in the way that I want. So with all that being said, I'll say top of good. I think top of good with the potential of being excellent, but I can't in good conscience put in excellent because I haven't been able to sink the time in to confirm. Snipper Clips. Have you played Snipper Clips?
Never played it.
This game's cool. It's a nice little neat, fun, small little indie game. I'll put it in good.
I have heard a lot about it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, but I think Snipper Clips kind of is what people talk about like Welcome Tour for. I mean,
Dude,
like,
I'm looking at gameplay right now. This looks so much fun.
yeah, it's a fun game.
One of my favorite games, most hours put into on my 3DS was Pushmo, I think it was called.
Pushmo, yeah,
You ever play that?
yes. Pushmo is really good. I
Best
like
thing in the
Pushmo.
world. So
Mhm.
good.
I
I
love
love those little mindless little puzzle games.
I agree.
You know, spend
agree.
$10, spend
Mhm.
$20, and you got the most fun you'll ever need.
Exactly. I thi-
Snipperclips looks good,
I
dude.
think
I want
this
to play
game,
this.
it had really good marketing in the sense that, like, if 1-2 Switch didn't exist, this would be the game that
Sure.
everybody would say should have been a pack-in. And
How if I never purchased this? It look so how
it's only like
this
$10.
is first party.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Oh.
it's an indie game. So with
Oh,
Switch,
okay.
they went through this. They had this strat. I feel that like every year they would partner with like an indie
Yes.
and like throw some money at them to like make an exclusive.
Yeah.
This
Sure.
was the first of those games. But yeah, I like it. It's a good game. I would suggest it. It's only $10. It's the Nintendo Switch welcome tour of Nintendo Switch.
And I think if we're factoring in the price, yes, that's a good game.
Yeah.
Maybe even excellent for the price.
I
You know what I'm saying?
we
If
can
it's
put it-
$10, every other title on this is $60.
So
You know?
the thing about it for me that makes me just want to put it in good is I played this game for like the first month that it came out, and I don't even think it's installed on my Switch currently. You know?
Damn. All right.
So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Where
It
it's
didn't have
like
the holding. It didn't have the staying power.
there's no reason to really want to continue to play it. Is
Yeah.
the thing. So
Dude, Pushmo, I want to go play that right now.
It's
I might
pretty
do a Pushmo stream
good.
later.
but
Yeah.
I don't know if I would put it in excellent because like these games, like
That's
everything
fair.
in this tier, and that's not necessarily going to remain the case. But like you can easily put 300 plus hours in ARMS, and you could do the same
Okay.
with Mario Kart. You're not getting that with Snipper.
Snipperclips is a
you
little.
know?
Yeah,
You
I
might
see that. I
get
see
10.
that. A little one note. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Um,
Okay.
Splatoon 2, excellent.
Okay.
Excellent video game. It's Splatoon. Splatoon is like a cool shooter. It like merges like what Nintendo was really good about Mario, and shooters into one thing. It's like this thing. This is a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time, where it's like how Nintendo introduces their fan base to new genres, where it's like, oh, there's this popular genre that everybody's playing, shooters. There's competitive online shooters, and we're not going to make one until we do. And once we do, you're going to know that it's from us. You know, it's not this thing where like everybody's trying to be Call of Duty. You're not going to have like the Battlefield version of a Nintendo shooter. It's going to be.
I do think they were missing something like that at that time.
Yeah.
And Splatoon, it's crazy how Splatoon was invented, brought to us, and now it's celebrating a 10-year anniversary. And it's like
It's an icon.
It's up. It really is an icon. It's up there with like every other first-party Nintendo. You know,
It's
I don't know.
insane because it was like instant. Like Splatoon was never not iconic. Even on Wii U, it sold like 4 million units on Wii U as a brand new IP on a dying console. You know, like it released in the last like 2 years of Wii U's life, and it still sold like 4 million copies, or almost 5. I think it was like 4.8 million. So then when it came out,
Splatoon is a game that always looked really interesting and creative. Like I think the whole concept of like being able to dive into like the way that you use the weapon, right? You use your artillery
to defend yourself and to
defend
traverse.
yourself.
Yeah.
It feels so ingenious to me. You know,
It's this
Like, you
cyclical
can-
thing.
Yeah,
that
you have
flows so
control
well.
over the environment that you can then like use to your advantage. Seems really fun, and it's a really simple like not capture the flag, but what's that battle mode where it's,
like a territory, like
yeah, you're just claiming the territory. Like it just works so seamlessly together. It does seem like a lot of fun.
yeah, it's a phenomenal game. We'll get back to that when Splatoon 3 comes up. Mario Odyssey, we're back in excellent territory. It's a great
This
game.
is a game that I spent a lot of hours in.
This game is phenomenal. I'll put it above.
AJ, I really do think you and I align on this, where it's like if I can get a lot of hours out of a game, it's it for me.
It's great. It's great because it's not even necessarily the thing with like is it possible to get a lot of hours out of something? It's like, is it possible, and do I want to? You know, because like there's so many other options to play, like all these other different video games. If I want to put 400 hours into your game, you know, like you did something right.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Breath of the Wild, again, easy, excellent. I always go back and forth. There's like a whole thing where it's like, I don't know if I like this more than Mario or Mario more than this, but like, I don't know, man.
I gotta pick it up. I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom a little bit more recently.
I think,
but I gotta pick up Breath of the Wild.
So what do we think? We think we want to weigh how we feel about, because I kind of want to put, for podcast listeners, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, and Splatoon are all must-haves. Obviously. But what I was going to say is, do I want to put Mario Kart at the bottom of must have? Even though, like, you know, it's the top, like the best selling game, it's the game that everybody wants to get.
Selling, but is it like a good game, right? It's just Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun game, but also people buy it just by default. It's the game that's being packaged with the Switch too. Like, I'm tempted to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
No, here's the thing. I own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
And I think I haven't played it in 4 years. I bought it for the beach
to
play with family, and I own it. But is it a great game? No, it's probably mid for me, honestly.
I'm
kind of mid on Mario Kart.
So I'm keeping it a must-have because I do believe it's a must-have.
That's fine. This is your list.
But I just meant I kind of want to put it bottom of must-have. Because I was keeping it at the top because I was like, well, everybody gets this game.
But that's my point. I'm like these other games are. Like, I've had emotional reactions to, other than frustration that Peach or Daisy blue shelled me, right?
You know what? I'll go lower. I'll do excellent.
No, listen, I'm
we'll
just
do
saying,
excellent.
like,
we'll do excellent.
Zelda,
because I agree.
Breath of the Wild is incredible.
Because like it's the same kind of thing. And just like I said with Snipper Clips, like I haven't played Snipper Clips since it came out. Mario Kart, I have played it since it came out, but I probably play Mario Kart like once a year. And I haven't played Mario Kart since the DLC. And I went through this whole thing of like when they announced the DLC, I was like, okay, when they do new waves of DLC, I'm gonna play it once for the way, like I'm gonna stream it. Sure. And then I stopped doing that because I actively did not want to play the game. So you know, fair. We'll put it in excellent because I acknowledge that it's a game.
I'm leaving my impact. I'm leaving my impact
because I acknowledge it's a game that people like a lot and that I would recommend to people that haven't played it. But you know, if I don't even want to play it anymore, you know, that says something. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Any opinions on this?
I think it's overrated. Jake's been playing it on stream. I think it's kind of a mid game.
You want to put it?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I literally have never played Xenoblade.
I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's okay. It's all right. We could put it.
It's like a true RPG, right? It's like a Final Fantasy.
It's an action RPG. It's an action RPG.
Yeah.
I'll put it bottom of good.
Okay. Toad Treasure Trackers. This is a game I've never purchased. I've played it. It's super fun. It actually reminds me of Pushmo. I like that there's like a little island that you get and you're able to control the camera as much as you are in order to like uncover little secrets. This is a game that, you know what? I think I play. Maybe I did own it. Maybe I had it. Was this on the 3DS?
Yes, it was on 3DS and the Wii U.
Yeah, and I did play it. Yeah, It's so fun. It's so fun. I was like, I've played it, but I don't own it. And I think I got the download of it on 3DS maybe.
So this is another one that Nintendo sent me. Nintendo sent me this game like 3 times.
Yeah.
Because they sent it to me on 3DS. They sent it to me on Wii U.
Nintendo's gonna start sending me games.
And they sent it to me on Switch. And then they sent me the DLC. This game's really good. I like this game. I struggle with putting it in excellent because
here's the thing. I feel like it's simple.
If it had online multiplayer, I would put it in excellent. Sure. I'm just being real. I think I would play it way more if it had online multiplayer. But local multiplayer, it's like, and this will come up again. But when a game just has local multiplayer, I feel like it puts so much more pressure on the game to be like literally excellent. It needs to be like a game that like people come over and we talk about like, oh, we decide we specifically want to play a video game, right? And then once we decide that we want to play a video game, it's like, okay, what do we want to play? We want to play Nintendo Switch, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers. You know, like if you're not clearing those two games, you know, but
no, I get that.
I get that. Online multiplayer is way easier to be like, because then you have more specific friend groups. You know, it's like I have my like people that I meet from because I do YouTube and stuff like that, and they're way more willing to play like the freaky, you know, like offbeat, like not Mario Kart kind of things. So like if this was online multiplayer,
makes me miss college.
I will put it. Yeah, I feel that. I will put it in excellent if it had online multiplayer. It does not, so I'll put it in good. I'll put it above Labo. I'll put it above Snipper Clips even.
I'd put it above Pokken Tournament.
I don't know if I can go that far. Because
the
only reason why
you like the fighting games. You like the fighting games.
Yeah. I'll get you in, man. I'll get you good, and then you'll understand. You'll see the vision.
All right. So that was 2017. No, we're in 2017.
We're in 2018 now.
Okay. Listen, let's go Pikachu and Eevee.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my take. Overhated.
Yes.
I think Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is trying to do some really new things. I'll say new, that I do find quite frustrating when I go to play it back. But I can't get it out of my mind. This isn't why the game's good, but I can't separate. I can't divorce the memory that I have of my niece playing this game. She's 8 now. She played it when she was like 5 or whatever. Playing Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, playing through the Kanto game. I caught my niece. I was living with family at the time, and she was humming the Pokemon route theme, right? Which everyone's always so quick to yell about how much we hate Kanto remakes.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why they do it. They're trying to keep this core like gameplay experience alive. So I think right off the bat, I just take that off the table. And I had frustrations with this game when it first came out. I think it's important to note that like when this game came out, there was no like core series Pokemon game on the Switch.
Right.
I purchased my Switch. I got Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and that's all I had for like 2 years until this game came out. And then I had to wait a whole nother year before Sword and Shield. So like, I was applying a lot of frustration on this game, as were a lot of fans. But I think the simplicity of this game is really charming. The art style is beautiful. Listen, this is the first Pokemon game that introduced overworld encounters with overworld shinies.
Yep.
That is a beautiful feature. I think all the following Pokemon for the first time was implemented correctly since Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Right,
every single Pokemon that they put in there, you can ride Snorlax and Charizard.
It was beautiful. I really think it's a really slept on game, and because because I'm on this podcast, I'll bring up that I remember actually championing Bob Wolf's for like his whatever you want to call it, review of this game. And I was like, wow, another person who doesn't hate this game. I was flabbergasted because the internet wanted to hate this game so much.
It did.
But anyways, at the end of the day, when I go to replay Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I am quite frustrated because to play it on the TV, I have to play with one Joy-Con, which is infuriating. So that docks it down to like good or mid. Seriously, because like when I replay a lot of Pokemon games, and that's the limitations that they put on this game, the control limitations that just bother me so much.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would put it in good, but listen, I like all Pokemon games.
I'm down putting it in good.
I have a Pokemon podcast, and I've been yapping about this stuff for 4 or 5 years on the internet.
I'm super down putting it in good. I repeat your sentiments. This was another game that Nintendo sent me, and they sent me to Pokeball Plus. I played the whole game with that.
That's nice.
I played the whole game with that. So I was like putting the Pokemon in the Pokeball, and I was like walking with the Pokemon and doing all that stuff. I think the game's really fun. I actually need to replay it because I lost my save data because I had the original. I had the original Nintendo Switch, and then I got the Redbox Nintendo Switch, and I traded in my Redbox Nintendo Switch, my original Nintendo Switch, which I regret for various reasons. One of which is the fact that I didn't transfer my freaking Pokemon Let's Go save, so I lost all those Pokemon.
Dude,
which is unfortunate.
no.
So granted, I have
That's
all
horrible.
the Kanto Pokemon. You know, I already have them at home. But like, I feel like I gotta replay this game at some point. I don't know when. But
Is there anything about this game that you did not like?
I mean, I didn't really like the like how they handled the wild Pokemon, and I as somebody that doesn't even like the battle system, I didn't like that because I felt like it flattened the game. It gave you less things to do. I think that they could.
I think the world is flat.
I think they could have like did both, you know? Like I think they could have had you battle the Pokemon. Like I think they did it with the legendary Pokemon, like with Zapdos and stuff.
You battle them
like,
and then you use the catching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think they should have did that. I think that would have been something I liked more personally.
Listen, I think that there were a lot of things that they did gut. I'm always advocating for this game because I think it's overhated, but like they did remove the Safari Zone, which is a really cool thing and actually would complement the catching, like the whole like new catching mechanic in this game. That's literally what the Safari Zone always was. All you could do is catch the Pokemon, you know?
Mm-hmm. Also, sidebar, I see Sierra's in chat. Sierra, I got to get you on this podcast. So you tell me. Not right now necessarily, as far as like you telling me. You tell me when you're available, and we'll do it.
Come on, Sierra.
Mm-hmm. Sierra Plus Ultra, everybody.
I gotta check out their content.
Listeners and whatnot. Yeah, she makes great stuff. She's a Nintendo variety streamer. She also has a band.
Love that. Nice.
Does Sierra have a command? I think Sierra has a command, but it's a different command. I think it just links to her Twitch. I think it's like ! plus ultra or something, but I think it just links to Twitch. But yeah, I think we put Topple good for Pokemon Let's Go.
Listen, I'll take that. If that's my only if that's my only thing I can add to this podcast, I'm happy with that. That feels good.
You play Pokemon Quest?
Nope. I definitely downloaded it. But like I didn't stick with it. It was kind of a gotcha game.
So this was another one Nintendo sent me. Nintendo sent me this game. Well, you know, it's a free game.
You were cooking, dude.
It's a free game. But they gave me like $10 or something like that.
They made a big deal about it.
And they're like
spend money.
Like I got it a little early and they gave me currency in the video game. All that to say, bad. Game sucks. Game is not good.
You know what's funny? In the rest of the world, or at least in Japan, or maybe you know what? It might be in China. Pokemon Quest was continued, so there's like Pokemon up to like generations. I want to say like 3.
Yeah, how come
4,
we didn't
5?
get that version? That's why.
I know, because I don't know. But yeah, just bad.
Yeah, game sucks. Moving on. Super Mario Party. In 2018, this game was bad. It wasn't bad. It was good. It was okay. You know, like in the context of like where we were in 2018, it was a phenomenal game in my opinion because we went on a string of terrible Mario Party games. But in hindsight, it was like a half step between the terrible Mario Party games that we were getting and like actual good Mario Party games. It was like the Mario Party games that we're getting now, like Jamboree, and to a semi lesser extent because it's not like exclusive content that's new to the game itself. Like that's what makes it bad is this half measure. But like it was after like actually bad things, you know? So I'll put it in like top of mid. We'll put it top of mid. I will say the DLC that lets you play it online, it added another 100 hours to me playing this video game. But I'll also add to that even with this DLC, with like Jamboree and even Superstars before it, I wouldn't touch Super Mario Party. So like it made it more something that I wanted to play when it was all I could play as far as Mario Party is concerned. But it's not something that I would go back to in 2025, if that makes sense. So I'll put it in mid. Top of mid over Mario plus Rabbids. Super Smash Brother, it's freaking come on.
Do we even need to spend any time on this?
Come on, man. Come on, are we seriously?
It's definitely not as good as. No, I'm just kidding. It's great.
do I even need to
Let's go
explain?
Pikachu. BDSP are better.
That's
Yeah.
insane to say that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Smash is
I'm not
goated.
even dignifying anybody
How
in
about this?
any chat with any response. Is top of must have. Moving on.
No, but AJ, while we're on Smash, because like obviously there's like a million hours of like, of you explaining why you love it. Is there one thing that you think it does not do that you think the next Smash Brothers game could implement? Next gen. I'm thinking next gen.
Longer term support. I think that Super Smash Brothers is a game. You know how like there's certain studios, and like even they do this less now, but like Microsoft, they'll have studios that are like dedicated to a franchise. It's like this is the Coalition, and all they make is Gears of War. That's what they do.
Nice.
They're the Gears of War studio. I wish Super Smash Brothers had the Super Smash Brothers studio, and literally all they do all the time, 365 days, 24/7, not 24/7. Don't let your employees have days off and whatnot. But I mean, like the studio man hours wise, like they should be completely dedicated to making new Smash Brothers games and supporting current Super Smash Brothers games.
What about like this is no, that totally makes sense because the engine or whatever you want to call it, the balance of the game is so good. I guess I was thinking more like, is there any like new type of gameplay that you think it's missing?
No.
What?
Because really the only thing
you really think this is just like this is the go-to.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, so with Pokemon, right? And we'll get to this, and we get to this all the time, and I'm sure we'll do a directly to you episode about this. But like with Pokemon, I'm campaigning all the time about changing the battle system. It's not because the battle
that
system.
would be a good app.
It's not because the battle system is old. That's not the only reason. It's because the battle system is not true to what the franchise is trying to be. And they tell you that at every step of the way. Like even for Pokemon video games, their marketing says, we don't want to be a turn-based RPG, But when you play the video game, it's this very specific, like super dated, like more similar to old video games than it is to current marketing. And like even like current Pokemon in every other medium, like even in stuff like TCG, like Pokemon TCG's marketing even says like, we don't want to be a turn-based thing. We want to be like super frenetic and action-packed and fun and fluid, But the experience of playing Pokemon is tackle. Use double team. Thundershock.
I know what you're saying. Honestly, we should shelf that for another episode. That actually would be kind of fun to dig into. Because I do think I don't think there's a problem with turn-based combat in Pokemon. That does feel kind of integral and would be just kind of weird for them to leave that.
So I will say, it's not just that it needs to be. There's things that get added
on top.
Exactly.
There's things that get added on top.
It's like
real time.
In the grand scheme of things, I don't necessarily care if it's like an action RPG. I don't care if it's like Legends ZA or even like more action than that, or if it's a turn-based game of some sort. I just want whatever the battle system is to be more of a reflection of what the series as a whole is. I think that the best way to do that is probably in an action game. But if they could show me a way that is not an action game that better replicates that experience, then that's fine. But I say all that to say, not to go off on a tangent about Pokemon, but to say there's nothing with Smash Brothers that's like, oh, this doesn't work for what it's trying to be. In fact, I think it works so well that it's the only game that can do it right. There's so many games that have tried to replicate Super Smash Brothers and they die. It's not like Pokemon where like there's a lot of Pokemon clones and stuff like that and they're not as successful, but Smash clones die.
But a Pokemon Smash clone would be insane.
That would be crazy.
Honestly, let's shelf this. This is good. I've never played Bayonetta.
Yeah, I played Bayonetta. It's fine.
My friend Seth loves Bayonetta.
It's okay. I'll put Bayonetta bottom of good.
Damn.
It's okay.
And it's like it's kind of a hack and slash, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a hack and slash, but I think that that is a little bit It flattens it a little bit. Like it's kind of like
Okay.
it's a single player fighting game. You know, like
Yeah.
that's kind of what it is. Like in terms of gameplay, because like hack and slash, I feel like most of the time, the thought is that they're more button mashy than Bayonetta is. Like Bayonetta is like intentional. Like you get graded on
Yeah.
like how you go about doing the combat. Like there's like combos and like timing and like, that sort of stuff. So like it's a little bit more elevated than what I think most people would think of when they think hack and slash, but it's not. It's not. It's okay. It's a fine game. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Did you play this?
I played it on Wii U.
So it's the same situation as Mario Kart, where I think that it's
Yeah.
like
Fun game.
it's the best Donkey Kong game in my opinion. I think
Wow.
it's the best Donkey Kong game, but it's a Donkey Kong. I'm not putting it in must have. I don't know why I did that. It's a Donkey Kong game that I think is or Donkey Kong Country video game that's like it's like elevated to the point of like this is like the best like example that they have ever done this in, and that's cool and all the other kind of stuff, right? But it's one that we played already. We haven't gotten a new Donkey Kong game. Like with Mario Kart, it's a little different. It's a little different because one, Mario Kart is their most successful franchise, and if they don't have a Mario Kart game that you could play on their console's not going to do as well. It's like how like if you don't have Pokemon on a handheld, it's not going to do as well. If you don't have Pokemon on a console, it's not going to do as well. With you, so like with Mario Kart, it's a little different. Like they had to make a Mario Kart game, but it's better to have it as early as possible. But with Donkey Kong, I don't like the fact that Tropical Freeze meant that we haven't gotten a new Donkey Kong game in like over 10 years. That's insane.
That is insane. I'm excited for the new one.
Same. Day one cop.
It's not a country. It's not Donkey Kong Country, but it
Yeah.
does look good.
They're redeeming
All right,
3D
so
Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So I'll put it bottom of excellent. I'm kind of leaning top of good though, to be real.
I think honestly, based on your ranking, I feel like good makes the most sense. I know, like, I mean, listen, this is your ranking, but like
I'll put it
for
in.
like a long play session, I feel like it doesn't have. It's like once you complete the campaign, what is that? 60 hours. It's
I
you're
think
not
the
doing
game.
100.
I think the game can have 100 because it's a multiplayer game.
Oh, that's true.
Does
That's
it?
true.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
think
Yeah,
it has
you're right.
online. What is this? What is happening? Verifying. I don't know what this is. My computer is loading something.
Oh, good.
Um,
So I didn't realize all of these I didn't realize like titles like Hyrule Warriors were like first party. I assume that was kind of like a
Yeah.
licensed out game.
yeah, it's a first party game. We had this
Okay.
discussion a few days ago on stream actually about second parties, where it's like second party, like that's a term that gamers use and that like journalists used to use, but it's not a real thing. It's either a game is
Sure.
first party and that's how they market it and how they handle like funding it and all the other kind of stuff, or it's third party.
Yeah.
It's a first party game. But yeah, that's what the situation is. Hyrule Warriors. Do you have opinions on this?
Nope.
This is another game.
I'm really
Nintendo-
outing myself.
This
I was
is-
trying to
that's all
stay
good.
as
You're a Pokemon guy.
incognito as possible.
You're
with
the
these,
Pokemon guy, man.
Yeah.
And with Switch 2,
Listen,
we'll change
when
it.
I find a
We'll
yeah,
get you.
well,
We'll get
when
you
I
in on
find
more.
games, I go really hard into them. Like
Mhm.
like this year, I've been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. I've been playing. What's it called?
Ooh.
It's what is it? Let's see. I'm gonna find it right here. I got my Switch right here. It was
Legacy of the Duelist, is it that one?
Legacy of the Duelist. Played a
Mhm.
lot of hours of that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
the
put
game
it
that I
in
have right
not
here right now
good,
is
and
Tears of
that's
the
because
Kingdom.
I think Warrior games suck. I hate Warrior games. Oh my god. So you
Yeah,
were
they-
talking about hack and
they seem
slashes.
fun.
This is a
Yeah,
hack
they
and
seem
slash. It's,
Yeah.
it's, just like, it's
When I'm
mindless.
looking at it, I'm like, I might enjoy that, but I do think it would be, kind of mindless.
I hate them, and this is another one that Nintendo sent me that I had to legally disclose.
Damn. Legally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, like there's been multiple times where I've like talked about like I've like they're less stringent about it now, but like I've posted like
Yeah.
Smash Brother clips and they emailed me and be like, yo, can you take that tweet down and put hashtag free game or provided by Nintendo or something,
Yeah.
because the FTC will get on my ass and I don't want to deal with that.
No.
So yeah, that's why I say that. Kirby Star Allies. This game came out right before I was partnered with Nintendo. And it's funny that like they did it, and like that kind of confirms that it's not like how people pretend that it is, where it's like, oh, Nintendo sent you game, so you gotta act like you like it. The first video that they saw from me when they added me to the program was me bashing Kirby Star Allies and saying this game sucks. And so yeah, top of bad. I'm putting it top of bad. The game is vapid. I think that a lot of people defend it by being like, it's a Ruby game, it's supposed to be boring, and it's like, no, like a game can be like approachable to children, but also still like interesting. And Kirby is not. Again, this is another example I was talking about before. 1-2 Switch. I had Kirby Star Allies. And like whenever I'm like babysitting my niece, or when she was 5,
sure,
I'd be like, yo, what do you want to play? You want to play Kirby Star Allies? Pink guy, he's pink. They got girly stuff on this.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that game sucks. She's 5 and she thinks the game sucks, and I'm not even.
What was she playing?
She was playing 1-2 Switch. She likes 1-2 Switch.
Oh,
that's
yeah, true.
She loves 1-2 Switch. And that's saying a lot. Mario.
I think it is
Tennis Aces. This game
Listen, I kind of want to get into this. This seems like this feels like a late pickup that I feel like, yeah.
I think
I'm gonna pick up Mario Tennis on Switch too.
So I'm conflicted about Mario sports games on Nintendo Switch because I think they're all good. But I think that they're all held back in various ways.
Let me guess. I actually want to guess because I played a lot of these games growing up, like the original Mario sports games. I feel like this generation of Mario sports games doesn't have the same charm. It doesn't have like a goofiness. Is that true? I don't know.
Sort of a little bit, like a little bit. I would say that's a little bit of a thing, but it has nothing to do with what I was about to say.
Okay, sure.
It's just I think they do a bad job at like giving the game, like giving you a reason to want to play the game. And I think that they cut themselves off at the knees with like what could have been easy reasons to want to play the game. Because like you would think in 2018 when this video game came out, that the reason why you would have people coming back to this game all the time is to play it with their friends. Like you guys, you play, like, oh man, see me in Mario Tennis 1v1,
totally.
2v2, or you set up tournaments and you do that kind of thing. It's a pain in the ass to set that kind of thing up. In this game, I think that it's very light on single player content, so it's not a good Mario Tennis game in the sense that like Mario Tennis and like Mario sports games at large, they kind of started as like RPGs, with a sports game tacked on top of it. And this game kind of like
a lot of Mario RPGs. Holy cow!
Yeah,
there really were.
And that's a whole nother thing. That's another video that I wanted to make. I want to make we'll talk. But yeah, no, I think this game fails at being a good Mario sports game, and a good Nintendo party game in that kind of way. Like, and the reason why I put it in good is because like mechanically it's there. Like it's a game that like mechanically I want to play, but they don't make me want to play it, if that makes sense, It's like they gave me a good sauce but nothing to eat on the sauce.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's a good visual. They gave you some cereal.
Yeah.
And you're like,
they gave me cereal and no milk, bro. Like
the aioli's not going into the
man.
into the
I'm not just eating this cereal out the box. You need to give me a bowl and some milk, brother.
Please.
Splatoon Octo expansion is phenomenal.
Same thing.
I would say, it just goes up with Splatoon. I would say it goes over Splatoon because like Splatoon 2, like Splatoon 2, right? Like it's kind of what I like the best case scenario of what I think the Mario sports game should have been, where it's like they give you some level of like engaging single player content to like learn how to play the video game, and then once you know how to play the video game, they throw you in and it's like, all right, play online and compete and play against your friends and play on teams with your friends and so on and so forth. Octo expansion is like, oh, but do you really understand the single player like mechanics? Can you like win like a Kaizo Mario equivalent of like this kind of thing? Do you understand these mechanics? Do you understand this weapon? Could you get through this stage with these kind of twists and turns? Then play through this, it's that kind of thing. Also, full disclosure, they sent me this too. They sent me the expansion. I did not get sent Splatoon 2. I bought that. I had to
He's
do
like,
it.
I don't want to go to prison.
I don't. And I also want people to know, like, I want them to know, like, full disclosure, like, if that is something that's going to like, make you feel a way about my opinion, one way or the other, of like, I did get this game for free, or this DLC for free, then I want people to be able to make that decision for themselves, you know, just ethically. But yeah, I think the expansion is really good. It's like the kind of thing of like, if you like Splatoon 2 and you don't have the expansion, you're throwing, you know. And it's also the kind of thing that, like, if somebody were to tell me that they like Mario Galaxy, say, right, but they're scared to play Splatoon 2 because it's a multiplayer game and they're not a fan of multiplayer competitive games, I would tell them to get Splatoon 2 and get the Octo expansion. I would and I have done this. Like, I would, like, my chat could tell you, I went on a whole campaign of like, when Splatoon 3, and we'll get to this, but when Splatoon 3 came out, I was telling everybody, I was like, literally everybody that I know, everyone, Alec, who's somebody that's a part of the community, and my friend, who's like big RPG guy. He doesn't play multiplayer, or we'll get to that again. Doesn't play multiplayer games, but I was like, buy this game, you're gonna love it, I promise you. And he bought the game. But it's this similar situation. Octo expansion, if you like Splatoon, if you like Mario, if you like 3D platformers, you're gonna like the game. So yeah, I think it's a must have. This DLC, I didn't play it. This was another thing that Nintendo sent me the DLC, and I gave it to somebody else on the team to cover instead of me. And they dropped the ball, actually. They didn't even cover it, which was annoying. Luigi's Mansion 3. Have you played this game?
I played it last year a little bit with my niece again, and it was pretty fun. She was in the driver's seat.
You were Luigi.
I would play it. Yeah, well, when I would play it, I was helping her out, and I did like all of the different. Like, I thought the world was pretty cool, and I liked all the different puzzle aspects. It's not really my thing. It seemed almost like a mystery, like it reminded me of like a mystery. I don't know. I don't like mysteries in general, so it's not really my genre. But it was fun.
So I like Luigi's Mansion 3 a decent amount. But there's this whole thing, and RP might say something in the chat about this. But I wanted to, sometimes when I just want to break up the monotony in terms of like my stream schedule, I'll like go back to my quote unquote backlog, and I'm like, let me finish a game that I haven't finished. Luigi's Mansion 3 is one of those games. So I was like, I like dedicated a week or so, or like a month. It was like a month. I think it was in October. It was October like 2 years ago. I was like, I'm going to finish Luigi's Mansion. And then like the last day of October of that year, I got to like the final boss, and it's like very tedious in my opinion, and I didn't beat it, and I was like, I refuse. I'm not doing this. So every year in October, RP's like, yo, it's time to go. Look at him in chat. RP like, yo, it's time to go back to Luigi's Mansion 3. It's October, and I'm like, no, I refuse. So if had I not gotten to the final boss and like had the experience that I had, I would put it in excellent. But in the context of like the fact that I have played it and I don't like the final boss, and I think that like there's certain parts of the game that are frustrating in that kind of way, I gotta put it like top of good, under like Pokken, which is like pretty good.
Damn.
But
yeah, it's pretty good.
I can't in good conscience say it's excellent. If I actively feel like the game is a chore, I can't put in excellent. All right, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Thoughts?
Oh, here we go. All right. Listen, I replayed this game this year. This year. No, I guess it was technically last year. It was like in December. I think this game holds up. I think it's actually one of the most charming Pokemon games of all time. I think all the characters are great. The locations are beautiful. The art style it honestly really does a great job translating the original Ken Sugimori art, not the original Ken Sugimori, but that traditional 2D Pokemon
like the
art.
Pokemon like Yellow, like the like. No, we understand what the world is. I said that, now.
But I feel like it's a proper upscaling of just like what a Pokemon game is. Yeah, the art style is so special to me. I think the biomes, not the biomes, but the I don't know. I think they do a really good job presenting the world. Yeah, the wild area is a pretty big weakness. I think the wild area is a weakness. But I think I played through this game and I had so much fun using some weirdo Pokemon. I ended up using a Gigantamax Kingler out of nowhere. I think I got it from like a Wonder trade. I beefed up my team. I had a blast. I really had a blast. This game was so overhated. Again, I think this game is a victim of when it was released.
Yeah,
when this
I
game
agree.
came out, people were furious because they wanted they were comparing it to Breath of the Wild.
Exactly.
And
That's
I'm
the
not
thing.
trying to make any excuses for for Game Freak, because absolutely, they have enough resources to
But this
to
is the
make it a
thing.
quality game.
This
but
is
it
the
is
thing.
overhated.
If people, I think it's overhated for all the reasons that you're saying, and I think that like the resources argument is fair or whatever. But at the same time, I think that it's unreasonable. Because
It's so unreasonable.
'cause,
Yeah,
like,
people were
Game
screaming about like
Freak-
a tree.
Because Game Freak, yes,
know?
they are a big company, right? They make a very successful video game, right? But
Yeah.
people are not acknowledging the unique existence that is Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like,
I think we also need to think about like, especially now, right? Like, because we're doing this list in lead up to the Switch 2.
yeah,
We're entering the Switch 2 era, but alongside all of the new Switch 2, I'll talk about Pokemon games that are going to be on the shelves in the next couple
Right.
of years. All of those Switch games are also going to be on the shelves alongside, and people can play them alongside
yeah,
them.
and many
I
of them.
guess
I don't know if we're going to get a spec boost for anything else, but like Scarlet and Violet, like we know Scarlet and Violet. We'll
Yes,
get to
Scarlet and
we'll get to
Violet's gonna
Scarlet,
spec boost.
but they didn't say anything about Sword and Shield. But maybe it'll
They
still
didn't.
get a bump, like just by virtue of the fact that like it really just depends on how their engine works.
Yeah, and kind of what I'm thinking about right now is like, earlier I was saying Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was like the new foundation for the Kanto game. That's kind of like it's something. It's a stake. They put it in the ground. This is an experience that we want all Pokemon players on the Switch to be familiar with, right? We want them to be able to play through Kanto. I think what Sword and Shield is, I'm thinking about this right now. This isn't canned. I think Sword and Shield is kind of the definitive Pokemon classic, linear Pokemon experience that is always going to be on shelves, or at least for the next 8 years, right? As we go
It's a
throughout the
Pokemon
Switch
game.
2.
It will always be
For Pokemon
available. Like you can
Yeah,
easily
so-
find any mainline Pokemon
Yes.
game, even the Game
And
Boy,
immediately
Game Boy
after-
Advance, and
Yeah, absolutely.
it might
And
cost you
immediately
more than
after
you want
Sword
to
and
pay
Shield
for
came
it.
out-
Like you might have to pay
Yeah.
$40 or whatever for an old Pokemon
Yep.
game, but like
But that's
it's
just,
available.
it's like it's not accessible. I think about like I gets a little boring, but I think about my niece.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's 8, but like the older she gets, she has a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
She can't play Heart Gold Soul Silver. She can't play Red, Blue, and Yellow. She doesn't have access. She can't even play Sun and Moon, the stuff that came out in the 3DS. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like, I'm just kind of having this moment right now, thinking to myself, like, it does make sense for the Pokemon Company to have the definitive Kanto experience and the definitive classic Pokemon experience.
Yeah.
And now they're able to experiment with these new titles,
Right.
like Legends, like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Also, with an open world Pokemon game.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of just realizing that, like, yeah, I think Sword and Shield deserves to be up pretty high. I mean,
I
if
put
you
it
like
bottom of
Pokemon,
must have.
listen, you don't need to put it at must have. I know a lot of people have problems
So
with Pokemon
the reason
games.
why because I
But
was
it's
gonna put it,
Pokemon.
I was gonna put it in excellent.
Yeah.
But then I thought about Dynamax Adventures, and then that I gotta put it in must have.
Oh.
Because again, I'm still
You got the online. You got the replayability.
The inverse of what I was saying about snipper clips, like it's 6 years later, and I still play Pokemon Sword and Shield weekly for hours a week.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
So
amazing.
like, it would be super disingenuous to be like, oh, this game's not worth anything, and blah blah blah, and all that kind of crap. Because I still actively play this video game. And I've like the even without the DLC and stuff like that, like I've replayed this game multiple times for like different Nuzlocke and like.
I didn't even mention the DLC.
Yeah, the DLC is phenomenal. Again, it's the same situation, but even better. What I was saying about Super Mario Party, where it doubled my play, and it probably more than doubled my play time by now. But like, yeah, like when the DLC came out, I probably had like 300 hours, and then I had like 600 hours, and now I probably have more than that. I probably have like 1,000 hours in Pokemon Sword and Shield all told, like every account, every like playthrough combined, all that kind of stuff. Like I think the game is really good, man.
Yeah, let us know if we're cooking. Please or I guess podcast listeners.
Either or. Choice in Twitch chat said the only real reason with Sword and Shield is Sonya's storyline and the Zacian spin. Even the chairman Rose got retroactively validated.
That's real.
But how Elon Musk acts, yeah,
it is valid.
So I think a lot of people were complaining. That's the other thing that never moved me at all. That people's complaints about the story, because it's like, and I think that's part of it about like how people think about Pokemon. I think poisons the well with the discourse on Pokemon, because what people think of Pokemon as, and I think even like Jake is guilty of this a lot, where he contextualizes Pokemon in the way that it is from when he got into Pokemon, right? And Pokemon has changed a lot in the way that like they think about Pokemon.
I don't know if that's I think Jake has a very I think he has a very specific way that he looks at most games.
Yeah.
And he is, he has his own set of experiences.
Right.
And like,
I agree. And that's kind of what I'm saying. That's
balance or whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
So it's not,
I'm not trying.
I don't think it's nostalgia. I'm
not saying it's nostalgia. I'm not saying it's nostalgia. That's why I didn't say nostalgia specifically. But I think
to your point.
Yeah, no.
I know what you're
I'm just saying there's like a more specific framing that like Jake will give Pokemon, where it's like he'll talk about,
he's looking for something specific.
Yeah, where he's like he'll talk about choice in Pokemon, where he's like Pokemon is about choice. It's about you pick your guy and you go through the game with your guy and that sort of thing, right? With Pokemon red, blue, yellow, so on and so forth, that's absolutely correct. But in 2025, when we have Pokemon Home and like there's raid battles where you can get max candies and like level up 30 Pokemon at a time, the game has changed. It's no longer about like having a limited amount of guys that like you're traveling through with just these guys. Now it's more about.
I think it partially is during the initial campaign.
I think even the campaign. Here's my thing. I think the thing about Pokemon is like it's trying to be what the experience that whatever player wants to play it the way that they want to play it. It wants to be that. It doesn't want to like arbitrarily hold up the guy that's struggling to beat the second gym leader. So they want to be able to tell that guy either you can catch a new Pokemon and you could trade him up real quick, or you can just hyper level your Pokemon by going to a max raid, or you can it's less about limited choice and more about not endless options but having options. Right? Yeah. It's more about convenience than it used to be. And I think that Pokemon like Sword and Shield and now with the open world and like all the other kind of stuff,
that's true.
That's kind of what they're doubling down on now. And that's what I mean. I'm not trying to like this isn't me trying to invalidate his opinion, because I think it's valid for what he's trying to say. But I think that the grading curve is off, because it's not grading Pokemon on what it is, it's grading Pokemon on what it used to be, and thereby what people think it should be. And I think a lot of people grade Pokemon on what it used to be and what they think that version of it should be, when it's like clearly trying to be something different. And that's where I grade it. Yeah. Like I grade it based off of like what it tells me in its marketing that it wants to be now. Like that's why I have a problem, because it's like what it's telling me it wants to be now is not what it is the thing. But yeah, I say all that
I think people get into Pokemon for a lot of different reasons.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, that's a really cool thing that you brought up. Like, yeah, I think for myself, I'll speak for myself. For me, I'm just looking for an access point into the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think Sword and Shield, after revisiting, it does a lot of things right. Mm-hmm. While we're yapping about Jake, right? Like, I think he coined this phrase. I think he called it low impact decisions or low impact problems, something like that.
Was this on your stream earlier, or was it a Hidden Power?
No, this is like years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just in passing.
Gotcha.
Just through osmosis. But I thought it's basically the concept of like people get really angry online.
Also, podcast listeners, Twitch, Jake Steinberg on YouTube, and Jake knows it. Yeah. Like knows like your nose on your face.
He knows.
Jake knows it on Twitch. For context.
but I think what I see like current like I don't know, online discourse is crazy, right? Like I
Yeah,
just watched
absolutely.
the new Last of Us show, and I had a great time. I watched it alone. I was like, this is amazing. And then I look up one video online.
This
Right,
is
I've
the
never played the
worst
games
thing to
before.
ever happen.
I look up one video online to just find out to interpret the final scene, and all I can see now are how angry people are.
Yeah.
And so what Jake shared with me, and I'll share it with you guys, is that like there's things about games or really any medium, any art that you might not like, but like if it is, but usually a lot of those little things are just nitpicks,
Right.
essentially. I'm thinking about the doggos at the end of Sword and Shield where they turn and it's really obvious that like that was just kind of something that was skipped over and like no care was put into it.
Right.
It was just like a rotating model. Low impact. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Right. That's the nice little bow on top. Yeah. So I think there's issues with Sword and Shield. But as far as a Pokemon game goes, it was pretty enjoyable.
So the reason
And
why I brought that
yeah.
up is because I think a lot of people get mad at like the world of Sword and Shield because it's trying to be more in line with what Pokemon is and wants to be now. In the sense that like they're trying to ground it more and be like, you're a kid, man. You just hopped off the porch. There's this champion dude, like everybody is saying he's the best guy, he's never lost, and all this other stuff, right? So as you go through the video game, they let him handle the random stuff that pops up until narratively it makes sense to be like, oh man, I lost your experience now, so maybe you can win where I couldn't. Whereas before, and past Pokemon games, it's like, oh yeah, you're a 10-year-old kid. You just got your Pokemon yesterday. Can you like dissolve this crime syndicate for me? You know, like
See, this is crazy because like when I'm thinking about Sword and Shield or most Pokemon games, I'm not really thinking about like the campaign. I'm thinking about like the overall gameplay experience.
Yeah.
Which partially is in the campaign.
Right.
But it's for me, like Pokemon is my Smash Brothers. I'm playing it after the campaign mostly.
Yeah,
You know?
so am I.
I'm thinking about like all those other mechanics. No, I know. I just you're using an example.
I
of,
was
like,
addressing I think
the campaign.
what
and
a
I'm
lot
like,
of people complain
That's a
about.
good point.
Because a lot of the
Yes.
discourse on Pokemon Sword and Shield was like, oh, we don't like how like even the campaign is centered around battling now. I just want like a fantasy RPG.
I mean, that's so stupid.
You know?
That's so
And it's
stupid.
like, no, like
Those are
they're trying
the
to
decisions that this game is trying to do.
yeah, they're trying to consolidate the experience. They're trying to be like, yo, we want to make the campaign more like what the experience is after the fact for most of the people that continue to play the game.
Yeah.
And that was what the contention was for most of the people that play. Like, and I got into, I don't know if you were in the, if you watched this Wolf Den podcast, I think it was Wolf Den podcast by now. But it was like this whole thing where I was like telling them, where I was like, Pokemon, the campaign is a tutorial. Like, that's just what it is. Like, the whole game is like trying to teach you about matchups and like the battling mechanics and like held items and all this other kind of stuff. If it wasn't that, you would be able to buy a life orb town 1. You know what I mean? But they're trying to
I think that shifted maybe like Generation 4, maybe even
I think it's like
Generation 5.
I think it's Gen.
The first
I think it's Gen 4 for sure because like VGC wasn't really a thing.
Actually have stories.
Yeah. But so do every other Pokemon game. And I think even like the first couple of Pokemon games, like they're still like they're not necessarily trying to teach you intentionally in the same way, but I think the game is still trying to like ultimately be a multiplayer game. Like even from the beginning, because from the beginning it's like, yo, trade with your friends and battle with your friends and do this thing with your friends and stuff like that, right? Like you're meant to like play through the game and be like, oh, what Pokemon do you have? Oh, you want to battle? Okay, cool, we'll battle. And oh, I like that Pokemon. Can we trade? I like that, you know. But now it's like even more so like it's about not just multiplayer but with your friends, but like multiplayer with the world. And they want to kind of prepare you for that. But yeah, I think that's kind of what it is with Sword and Shield. Of like Pokemon Sword and Shield is like trying to be what Pokemon should be now, rather than trying to be an evolved version of what Pokemon is to individual people as they grew up. You know, it's not trying to be the 2019 version of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green. It's trying to be
I wish
Pokemon.
They would change more. No, I think that's a really
I
good
agree.
point. And I almost wish they would like go even further with it. And they're starting to do that a little bit with the Legends games. But
I think
yo,
they're.
AJ, I'm kind of looking at the time, and I didn't realize how many first party games there were.
Mhm.
I feel like some of these we need to like
I mean, I was
blast through a
trying.
little
Yeah, I was
bit.
trying to do that. Like I said, we're gonna. It's Pokemon,
And
so we spent a while
I'm
on
lingering on
Pokemon.
the Pokemon
It's Pokemon.
games.
Yeah, but we could speed
Like
run
some of
through
these
the other
games,
ones.
Astral Chain, I've never even seen this in
I
my
played
life.
Astro Chain. I don't like it. It's not great. I'm putting it in not great. Don't really like
Yeah, we
it.
gotta. I think we gotta like move some of these. Just like
Fire Emblem Three
like the
Houses.
stretchers.
I think the game's really good. Pff, I'll put it in excellent. It's a game that like traditionally I wouldn't want to play. I gave it a try. I liked it a lot. I think that says a lot about the game.
Okay.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I played this with Bob. This is another game that this is another game that Nintendo sent me. I like this game. This game's fun. I put it in good. It has like a similar problem to like Mario Tennis Aces, where like if it had more meat on the bone, I would put it higher, but it doesn't, so I can't. Mario U Deluxe.
I almost bought this game. I think I've played it on.
I want to
maybe
put it in mid. I'm
Wii
not
U.
gonna lie. I think that like
Is it difficult?
no, so my problem with it is it's a recycled game of what already felt like a recycled game.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
when Mario U came out on Wii U, it already felt like why are we doing this again? Like it was cool when
Yeah.
they did it on Wii. I was excited for that. I was like, yo, 4-player Mario, 4-player 2D,
Yeah.
like Mario platforming, and then they did it on Wii U, and it was like, okay, but like why? Like there's nothing
Yeah.
that feels special about this. It's kind of like how like the way I think about 2D Mario, like I have an axe to grind with Wonder specifically for a similar reason, where it's like 2D Mario games pre like the new Super Mario Bros. Series all felt like an event, you know? It felt like
Yeah.
3D Mario games do now, where they're all like distinguishable from each other. Like you look at a 2D Mario game on the NES and the SNES, and you can immediately tell, oh, that's the first one, that's the third one, that's World, you know?
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore. And you kind of even got to do a double take for Wonder versus the Deluxe series, which is like, I don't really like that. But yeah, moving on. Super Mario Maker 2. I like it, but the only thing that
This is a title I wish I picked up.
I'll put it top of good.
So much fun to watch people on like YouTube or to watch people stream this. This is a fun game.
I
Or
think
to do all those challenge runs.
my main problem is it just feels like a step back from Mario Maker 1.
Oh, really?
In a lot of ways. Like technically, like if you look at the box, right? This game has more features, right? But
Yeah.
the way that they add it feels clinical. It's like the way I describe it.
Ooh.
The way I describe it is like, and I don't know how deep in the woods you are on this analogy, so you might not be able to stick with me, but maybe you will.
It depends on what it
Um,
is.
Like Mario Maker felt like a Steve Jobs situation, whereas Mario Maker 2 feels like Tim Cook. It's like
I think I feel that.
it's like it's so much more like analytical and like focus groupy, you know. Whereas
a
like
little bit less. Yeah.
Mario
I
Maker
see
1
that.
had soul, you know. It was like
Soul,
silly, goofy. It was goofy, like, oh, you want a red shell? Shake the green shell, you know, like that kind of thing. You want to put
That's
the
fun.
wings? You want a paratrooper? Grab the wings off of this guy and put the wings on him, you know, like that kind of thing. The mystery
sure.
mushrooms, you know, like the 100 Mario challenge, that kind of like it had a lot of stuff like that. Now, I will say again, I think that like Mario Maker 2, it did add a lot of like highly requested things, you know, like there you can make your own worlds and you could share them with people. That's really sick. They had the multiplayer. It worked terribly, which is another thing for this game, but it was cool that they added it. Hopefully it works better on Switch too. But it runs terribly on the Nintendo Switch. And you know, it's just various stuff like that. It's like it's a sequel in a lot of different ways. It does sequel things, but it doesn't stick the landing in ways that are kind of
Okay.
disappointing to me.
I do want to pick it up. I really do.
I would recommend it. I would say get it if it's interesting to you, but it's just disappointing in different ways. For me, which is why top of good, almost excellent, but top of good for me. Link's Awakening. I think this game's really good. I don't know if I would
It's
put it
pretty.
in excellent. I'll put it middle of good. You know, it's Link's Awakening.
It's a classic. It's honestly, it's a better version of
Exactly.
Link's Awakening.
It's a better
So,
Link's
there it is.
Awakening. If you like Link's Awakening, get this game. It's just better than that.
Yeah.
But in the world where Breath of the Wild exists, you know, it wouldn't be
It
the
ain't all
first Zelda
that.
game I would recommend
But
you
some
buy
people
on the
prefer
Nintendo
these
Switch.
top-down games, you know?
That's true. And we'll get to that. But yeah, I never played this. Next game is The Stretchers. This is another. This is like an extension of the experiment I was talking about before with Snipper Clips, where like Nintendo would like identify a promising indie game and be like, "Yo, we'll publish this and we'll give you money." I never played this one. So haven't played. Yoshi's Crafted World. Nintendo sent me this game. I like this game. It's pretty cool.
Looks beautiful.
Is it excellent? It's not excellent. I'll put it top of good.
I feel like people are like, I feel like there's the fans of Yoshi's Woolly World, or sorry, Crafted World, are like frenzied. I feel like they're stands.
I think the thing about Yoshi's Crafted World is what I wished Star Allies was. You know? Where it's like, it's a Yoshi game. It's like, you know, it's approachable. Kids can play through it, but it's not completely frictionless and it has interesting concepts. That's all I want, you know, from a game like that.
Honestly, that's what I want from most games.
Yeah.
Like Mario Wonder. Like, that was a new take on an old thing.
I mean, yeah, in this way, like in a lower impact kind of way, yeah. But it's not what I expect from Mario, I will say. I expect, again, like I was saying with the 3D Mario game, like 3D Mario, you never know what to expect from 3D Mario.
Yeah, but they're different. You know, they're different formats. You know,
for sure. Box Boy and Box Girl.
Box Girl.
Have you played this game?
Never heard of this.
This is another game I played. It's a smaller game. Nintendo sent me this as well. It's cool. You know, it's like Snipper Clips territory. It's like a smaller game.
Okay.
It has co-op. You can like get through these little small puzzles. I think you might like it. You like Pushmo, so it's a game you'll like, I think.
Probably.
It's pretty good. This game, Cadence of Hyrule, I love this game. I'm putting this game in excellent.
Yeah.
It's like a rhythm.
This game looks difficult to me.
I
wanted to play this.
I would recommend it. I think this game is really good.
I was never good at that. I used to, you know, in choir or in theater, like we'd have to sing. I remember like our music teacher being like screaming at us, being like, "You're not singing on tempo."
So
faster.
I think it's more forgiving than that.
I can't do it.
Like, you don't have to be perfect to get through. You know, like you'll get. It's like Guitar Hero.
It's like Guitar Hero.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm synced up for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Exactly.
All right.
Kirby the Fighters.
Honestly, that would be fun.
I never played this game. But
never played
actually, is this Kirby the Fighters? This is Kirby.
And for those who are listening, who are like, "Wow, Dusty doesn't play any games."
He's a Pokemon guy, man.
I'm a Pokemon guy, but I do listen. I do play other games. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, I just don't play a lot of games. Mm-hmm. You know, I actually don't think I'm much of a gamer. Yeah. I think I like Pokemon. I like the fantasy worlds that I like to immerse myself in. Right. And this will be new for your audience, you know, and please, I'm praying to God right now. Real quick, pray. I hope this doesn't start a giant debate on this podcast right now. But like when I'm talking about the new the Switch 2 discourse about the pricing of this console, of the games, of all the little other things they're doing, I tend to fall on it. I don't really care that much.
Oh,
like yes, it's more money.
So with the people,
it doesn't really matter to me because I don't play a lot of games. So I don't need to own every single game.
So here's the thing, that might feel like a hot take, but here, you know, on this podcast, in this chat,
there we go.
That's not a hot take at all. I say the same thing all the time. And the thing is, like, I do buy a lot of games, and I play a lot of games, but I do also other things. I have other interests. I have other hobbies. I have other things that I spend my money on. And I know that it cost me and I literally tweeted this. It cost me a Mario Kart World to go see Sinners. and I don't regret
Wow.
it. You know, like it's like a
crazy.
2-hour long movie, and it was $80, and it was worth
that's
it. You know,
insane.
like I'm
That
going
is
to the Grand
insane.
National Tour. That's gonna cost me a Nintendo
Dude,
Switch
you
too.
didn't invite me.
Oh,
And you didn't invite me,
Yo, they still got tickets. Pull up,
bro.
But yeah, I'm going to
I'm
the
trying to be
Grand.
a scissor stand that night.
I'm
dude.
going to the Grand National Tour in Hershey. But yeah. That's a Nintendo Switch 2 right there. You know what I mean?
Damn, bro. That's so true. That's valid.
And that's a couple hours
Listen,
of my life.
I gotta pick up my car from the mechanic. That's like 3 Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, man. You're gonna have to buy.
I'm dying.
You're gonna have to buy a truck. You know what I mean? Nintendo Switch 2 is a truck is? That's crazy.
Buy a truck, dude. I might not need to. I got the sticker. I did get the sticker.
Well, that's good.
When I was on the phone, yeah, I got the sticker. I got the inspection sticker. So it's street legal.
Okay.
I can drive the Subi
All right.
on the road right now. Anyways, all right.
Tetris 99.
Fun game, bro. It's
the game
Tetris.
is fun.
You better put that in amazing. It's Tetris.
Amazing.
Dude, it's top tier. It's
Excellent.
Tetris.
For
it's the best game of
Tetris?
all time. It's Tetris.
It's Tetris 99.
It's just more Tetris.
Do you play Tetris 99?
I play Tetris, and I have played.
If you play Tetris 99,
I haven't played Tetris 99.
If you've played
I have
Tetris in the
99.
last 3 months, I'll put it in excellent.
Yo, extended at least.
Otherwise, if you played in the last
it was
322.
2022.
No,
2022.
absolutely not. Top of good. I was going to say in the last 365 days, I'll put it in excellent. But you said 2022.
We like have
top
the
of good.
receipts. Like it's on my Switch. It like tells you. I'm curious. I'm actually gonna look this up as we keep going. I'm gonna keep looking. Just like what my
Mario and
usage
Sonic.
data is.
Is this at the Winter Olympics? I never played this one. Haven't played. This is Kirby the Fighters. This is a game that I did not play. It's a thing, like, in theory, you know, it's just Smash Brothers without the other characters, kind of. And probably with less depth, but, you know, the foundation is there. Mario Kart Live. I always debated buying this game, but it never happened. So, also never played. Part-time UFO. Never played this. Mario's
we're cooking now.
Mario 35. I've played this. This is like, you know.
It's not great.
You think it's not great?
It's mid. Put it in mid.
I was gonna
it's
put
just
it in
Mario.
mid. I'll put it in.
I'm sick of those games.
Yo,
bro.
mid is the Mario section.
Yeah, it really is.
There's bad Mario games in mid. Good job. This is a great job. This is another game that is in that you know, the indie game Nintendo experiment. It's probably my favorite of those games. So I'll put it like right under Pokken. So really fun game. I like it a lot. Another freaking Hyrule Warrior. I hate this game actually. Cause this game lied to me. Like the first Hyrule Warriors, I knew I was getting into. The first one, it was like, oh yeah, it's this like Super Smash Brothers kind of like Elseworld sort of situation of like, yo, what if all the Zelda characters were in a Warriors game? And that's fine. But they kind of tried to sell like Age of Calamity as a like prequel to Tears of the Kingdom, and it did not do a good job at that. So no. The jump rope challenge, this game is free 99, I think. I'm pretty sure it was free. It was a free experiment that they did during COVID. It's good, but like you play it one time.
Dude, what an era. What an era.
You play this game one time. I'll put it bottom of good because it doesn't cost any money. If it costs even $1, I will put it in mid. But since it's free, I'll put it in good. Actually, does it cost money now? It might have been something that was free at first and then they upped the price, but I don't know. Well, somebody check that for me. Because I can't check because I already have it, so it's just going to tell me purchased. Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I like Pikmin 3. But you know, similar situation, the Mario
My niece
Kart.
loves Pikmin.
I'll put it with Mario Kart. I think the game is really good. But like I already played it. So it goes with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and excellent. What game is this? Oh, it's Pokemon Cafe remix. You got thoughts?
No, dude. I will say though, a lot of people don't know this, but Pokemon Cafe Remix hinted at Legends EA.
Oh, snap.
3 in a row in August. They
the starters. It was the starters.
Yeah, it was like Chikorita, Tepig, Totodile all in a row. And then there was a Zeraora, which is like the electric mouse mythical whatever. And that thing is rumored to have a mega evolution.
We shall see. I'm putting Animal Crossing New Horizons and must-have over Splatoon. Right under Mario.
Yeah, well, let me see. Animal Crossing? Yeah. Yes, bro.
It's a must-have, man.
Listen, Okay, here's the thing. Yeah. Yeah. Again, is this must-have in 2025?
I think even in 2025, it's must-have. Because the thing about, and I was banging this drum before the COVID situation. Like that was, I don't know if you saw this video, but I was in Bob's PAX East video, and I made multiple Animal Crossing videos before this. But I think Animal Crossing is just a good game that it's fun. That as long as you're the type of person that can set goals, you know, because it's like when I got Animal Crossing New Horizons, my goal was like, yo, I'm gonna like pay off my house and I'm gonna set up a YouTube studio.
Yeah.
That was my goal.
Oh, that's nice.
I was like, I'm setting up a YouTube studio with me and the boys. It was a YouTube studio. It had a setup for me. It had a setup for Bob. It had like the Fanatics 4 logo and the Wolf Den logo.
Oh, that's so nice.
And it had a setup for MDB, if you guys know Madry Bread, and Dan, that Cyber channel. And it was sick. And I did it, and I had a great old fun time. I think that it's the kind of game that like the average person could dump 100, 200 hours into. I think an Animal Crossing fan can dump the rest of their life into this game. I think that there are still thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that still play Animal Crossing New Leaf every day, you know, just to like check in and like pull their weeds and like check in with their villagers and stuff like that. So it's like it has that same kind of range that a lot of the games that we were talking about, where it's like this is a game that you could like dead ass play for like the entire life of the console, if not the rest of your gaming life, if you wanted to. If it's a game that you have fun with, there's enough natural like levels of content that you can like play through it as long as you are enjoying yourself.
Sure.
50 wide worldwide classics. This game, like, it's utility, you know. Like if you want a way to play, it's kind of like if you like Tetris and you get regular Tetris, that's kind of, you know. It's like, I like Tetris. I'll have fun. Tetris. You want to?
No, but Tetris. No, but my point with that was like Tetris is like.
I know, it's like an icon.
It is the game.
Yeah, but it's not the thing about Tetris 99 specifically. And I didn't bring that up to compare that to what you were saying.
But
Tetris,
the same.
Tetris 99.
Tetris, I was playing Disney Tetris on my Game Boy Color.
You just can't play Tetris 99 in that way is basically what I'm saying. Or at least free. Like, I think that if you buy the DLC or whatever, you could play it locally or whatever. But
I get it.
That's why
this game
like
looks pretty good.
But Worldwide Classics, I was just saying, like, it's a Swiss Army knife kind of thing. It's like, oh, you want to play chess? It's on there. Or checkers, I think. That kind of thing. It's just like it's a game that's Texas like catch-all. It has a lot of different stuff that a lot of people will want to play. So I'll put it top of mid because I don't think that it's worth it for most people, but like if you're in that very specific niche that wants to play that game or those games with people on your Nintendo Switch system, it's there for you. Paper Mario Origami King.
Tell me this, is that a new game?
Yes. It's okay.
Did I play that? Dude, there's too many games. What the heck? I played the one on 3DS.
The one on 3DS
I played the 64 one.
Also different.
Or what is it? The GameCube.
The GameCube one is the one that came out more recently on Switch. We'll get to that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's fine.
I played every other one. I didn't play this. Listen, it's a Mario.
This game is a similar situation to what I said about Super Mario Party, where like at the time I felt like it was really, really good because it was like sort of a return to form in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
The gameplay is still different from what people want in Mario, Paper Mario, which is not necessarily what I'm saying I need. I don't necessarily need it to be like the same exact gameplay, but it just needed to be better than the last few Paper Marios, and it did that, but it just didn't do a good enough job at that. So that's why I will put it in mid. Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, Red Rescue Team DX. Did you play this?
I played the originals and they were pretty great.
I like this game. I put it in good.
I think the art style is not as good in this game as it was on the originals. I'm an old head. I'm 31 years young. I love the pixel art games.
I like this. So
it's nice. It's nice. The new one's nice.
I want a Pokemon game that doesn't look like this, because this is like too like painterly. It looks like it's like they sketched it.
Sure.
And I don't necessarily want that. I want a Pokemon game that looks like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
Yes.
Or I want
I'm totally with you on that.
I want the what's it called? South Park Stick of Truth effect, where like people walk into the room and they're like, "You're watching Pokemon?" It's like, no, I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'm playing Pokemon. That's my thoughts on that. So I put it in bottom of good for listeners. Mario 3D All Stars. You have any thoughts on this?
See, for me, I'm like, what are we ranking as a game? Like, these are just old games. You know what I'm saying? I played all these and they're great. They're all great. Mario Sunshine, this is a must-have. I feel like this has all three. It's Mario, dude. These are the Mario platform games. Mario 64 is a must-have.
So here's
Mario
the
Sunshine, must-have. Mario Galaxy, not as good as the second one.
Here's the thing. I think that the thing about this game, funnily enough, and I saw this in real time on like doing this as a creator, you know, in streams, on podcasts, so on and so forth. I've been saying that Mario games are similar to Pokemon in the sense that like each 3D Mario games, let me clarify, each Mario game gets significantly better than the one before it. And this game demonstrated that in real time. Now, Sunshine specifically is debatable because people have problems with the pachinko situation. But I think outside of that, it controls significantly better than Mario 64. And, you know, the better level of design. They understood game development more. They understood 3D games more. And then Galaxy just improves on that. But as far as like owning it as a Nintendo Switch game, I think it's like, you know, like whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think they're great games. They're on Switch. If someone's picking up a new Switch 2024, it's core Mario. I don't know. Bro, if
I'll put it top of good.
I don't know. It's excellent, dude.
Excellent? All right, you know
what we're missing? No, this is what's throwing me off. Mm-hmm. It's mid, good. There's no great. I feel like great's in between excellent.
Oh, you want me to put should I add
No, we can't change the tier list now.
I mean, I could add a new tier.
Listen, it's Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine and even Galaxy, which is weird. There's just like how many hours? You could put like 300 hours into these games. You know what I'm saying?
I'll add a tier.
And they're iconic.
I'll add a tier.
No, you can't change the tier.
I'll add a tier below.
I'm breaking the system.
I'll add a tier above, and we'll do.
And I think some of the
I'll move some stuff up. I'll move some stuff up.
Because I think some stuff could go up a little bit. Yeah. I wanted to say it was great, and then I realized there's no great tier.
Wait, what am I gonna do color wise for this? This goes to. I gotta just move them down, I think. Oh no, that's moving it down too much. What? Does that go there? Yeah, that goes there.
Oh, we got it. Got it.
We're doing it. We're doing it, y'all. And then I'll move some good stuff up. And I think that we keep mid as is. Because mid is mid, you know? If it wasn't mid, we would have put it in good. And
yeah.
Bad.
But these are like all-star. They're literally called all-star games.
That's fair.
They have to be a little bit better than good.
That's fair.
And listen,
I'll
I'm with
make
you
having
because
played a
actually,
different color. Like I said, I don't dispute this. I think that it's fair to add another tier because I do think that this tier is just too big. So that's fair. I'm down with moving a lot of like cusp games that we were kind of like, is it excellent? And
yeah, that you can bump them up a little bit.
yeah.
There we go, dude. Let's go Pikachu and Eevee, and great feels nice.
I'm with that. What's the cutoff? I guess the cutoff for me and
I think we're fine.
I think the cutoff is the box boy.
That feels a lot better already. Like excellent is essentially like S tier. Must have is like that's crazy.
Do you still think
no,
we
this,
put?
No, it's a little bit different. I'm listen.
You still think
we're
we
too
put
deep.
Mario in excellent?
No.
All right,
It's
we
great.
put it in great, top of great. All right.
I don't think it's excellent.
All right,
I love those games.
For audio listeners,
They are great.
Great is now. So remember everything. I said everything for good. Everything good is still in good except for which is now in great. Mario All Stars, Tetris 99, Mario Maker 2. Mario Maker 2, Tropical Freeze, Crafted World, Let's Go, Pokken, Great Job, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Captain Toad. No other
Chat's going
changes
crazy.
other
Chat's so mad at me.
Are they actually? I don't think so.
No, not really.
Oh,
not really.
yeah.
But the podcast listeners don't know. This is the theater, the radio
predicted.
theater.
I never played FE Sharp something or other. I haven't even played this on Wii U. Xenoblade Chronicles. I have played the original game, but I never played Definitive Edition. What do we do with that? What do we do with that information? We put it in haven't played, I think, still.
Haven't played it. Big Brain Academy, played it on the DS, but not.
Yeah, haven't played it
on
on
the Switch
Switch
one.
I did play this.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Look at every single one of these games and think every single one cost $80. Multiply it by however many games are here. That's how much you're paying in the next 8 years.
They're not all going to be $80. We only have one $80 game right now.
I know. 70. Sorry, 70.
Yeah. I'm putting this in good. It's Mario. This Mario Party. Yeah, Mario Party Superstars. Good. No. It's not good. It's great. I'd put Mario Party Superstars in great. You know, it just brought back the good Mario Party things, but I can't put it higher than great because it's just an old game, more or less.
Yeah.
You know. All right, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. We might have to fight a little bit on this one.
Yeah, you tell me what you think.
I want to put it in bad personally, but
I will not deny that. I think listen, the cardinal sin of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is that they first they do not take the improvements of the third version of the originals, which is Platinum version.
So
right off the bat, they're imitating the wrong.
I hear people say that, and I gave space for that, right? After going through this series and playing Platinum, I can see the argument sort of, but ultimately I disagree. Whereas I don't think
what do you disagree with?
I don't think Platinum makes Diamond and Pearl as much or Sinnoh as much better than people think it does. I think
no.
It's definitely the better version. So like, yeah, I agree. Ultimately, I agree with the statement.
That's the first step of this.
Right.
The second step is that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but like in the hands, when I'm holding my controller, right, it feels horrible.
Yeah,
my character is, I have a 3D character, right, that can move in any directions, still trapped in a linear,
like four-directional,
four-directional map, four-directional world, and it doesn't work. And I clip on everything, and the following Pokemon are broken, and it's a buggy mess, and it's soulless.
And it's a Sinnoh game. Concept. Like that's the biggest crime. It's a Sinnoh.
In concept,
oh my God,
I would love this game because I think there is a market for top-down Pokemon games. I want to love this game so much.
So that's the thing. I don't disagree with that. I think that like
the chibis are good.
I think even if they did this with Black and White, it would be a W. Because Pokemon Black and White are a W. But Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, even as Diamond and Pearl, because again, in this retrospective, my ranking right now in terms of like best game to worst game from where I'm at,
Yeah.
I would say Black and White best game, right? Own tier. Then the
okay.
tier directly below that is Emerald, right? And then below that we have Gen 2 and Gen 4 tied. And then below that is Gen 1. Gen 4 broke the trend because before it was what I was saying, like with the Mario game analogy, where it's like they get better every time. Diamond and Pearl broke that. It's a worse game.
Okay.
It's not as good. Like it has more content, sure, it has more Pokemon, blah blah blah, all that crap, but it's worse in so many ways. And it's just like, and they just made it again. You know, like if they like prettied it up, if they added more, if they fixed all the flaws of Sinnoh, this game had a real chance of being better. You know, if it was Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, this game could have been phenomenal because it could have made me. It could have, you know, been the illusion. It would have been like, oh, the way that people think about like Pokemon Yellow is like actually them thinking about Pokemon Fire Red. You know, it's like that kind of thing.
I wanted to like it so much, AJ.
same.
I wanted to like it so much.
So did I.
I was even hopeful for like a.
I'm gonna
like
keep. You can keep
Johto
talking about this.
remake.
I'm gonna like start placing stuff, and if you disagree,
No, we got to do it. We got to start. Just honestly, place a bunch of stuff, and I'll tell you if I disagree.
All right. So Metroid Dread, I'll put it in. I'll put it in bottom of excellent. I want to put it top of great personally, but I do get the argument. I just think that Metroidvanias are not my thing. I think backtracking is tedious and annoying, and I think the game is not as good as people want you to think it is at making it clear when you need to backtrack and why you need to backtrack and what you need to get and when and why, blah blah blah. Which made me not want to finish it. But I get it. I get the charm. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Superhero Girls. I never played this game. Ask Will
Sounds
Wolf.
fun.
He probably knows about this game. I forgot that Nintendo published this. Game Maker's Garage or Game Builder's Garage. I wanted to play this. I never got around to it. I haven't played, unfortunately. Mario Golf. It goes with every other Mario sports game where it's like mechanically it's pretty good, but like they dropped the ball on why am I playing this? You know? Why would I pick this game over Mario Kart is the thing, or Smash Brothers, or, you know, so on and so forth.
I mean, some people like golf.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not. Is it still an RPG?
Not really, no. Like, it has some of that, you know, like, it has a campaign, sort of. But it's not the same. It's like, go here and earn these coins so you can pay to do this next thing. It's not like, it's not like Pokemon but golf, like the Game Boy games kind of were. There was like legit. This is a tangent a little bit. But my mom, she's a Jehovah's Witness, right? So I went through this portion of my life when my mom was like, "You can't play Pokemon anymore." Like when I was really young, she's the one that kind of like introduced me to Pokemon, where she like helped me play through Pokemon Yellow because I couldn't read because I was 4. But then there was like a certain point when she was like, "You can't play Pokemon anymore. God hates this game." And I was like, "That's messed up." So then I couldn't play it when I was at my mom's house. I could play when I was at my dad's house, but that's a whole different thing. So I'm playing Mario Golf on the Game Boy, and it looks like Pokemon, but it's not Pokemon. So I'm playing Mario Golf. My mom's like, "Is this Pokemon? I told you can't." I was like, "No, it's not Pokemon. It's Mario Golf." And she threw it away. And I was like, "It's not Pokemon. It's Mario Golf."
Oh my god!
yeah.
What was she seeing? You think that like made?
Because she played Pokemon before, so she's just looking at it. Like she didn't look at the cartridge and not like she's just looking at me, like looking at the Game Boy screen.
She just knows you want
and
it. She goes,
"No," she's like,
"You're up to no good."
She's looking at the screen. Because like I said, she played through the game when I'm a 4-year-old. She's more or less playing the video game. So she knows what it looks like when you're walking around in the world in Pokemon and Pokemon Yellow. And she's looking at Mario Golf, which is more or less the same. The only thing that like would clue off that it's Pokemon or that it's not Pokemon is if there was like a wild encounter. Then it's like, oh, this is a Pokemon game. Or if I get into a game golfing.
Oh,
then
wow, dude. It's that similar?
Yeah, it just straight up, like in the overworld, it just looks like a Pokemon game. So like I get it, but it was like a thing where I was like, that's messed up. Skyward Sword, I don't like this game.
Dude, I never liked this when I played it on the Wii, and I think I gotta pick it back up. I think I gotta pick it up and actually play it without the ridiculous motion controls.
I'm going to say
if that's a thing.
it does have the motion controls. But that's not the reason why I don't like it. I don't like it because it's a traditional Zelda game, and I think those games are bad for various reasons. I think there's a lot of
I'm ready.
tedium.
I want to finish it. I think it's the only 3D Zelda game I haven't like.
I think if you like 3D
completed.
Zelda games, you'll like the game. I think it's a
Dude,
it's
I used to-
it's a better
I used to play
version of that.
Twilight Princess. I feel like I played that game like 20
If
times.
you like
growing
Twilight
up.
Princess, you'll absolutely like Skyward Sword.
Well, I didn't like it when I played it on the Wii, but I'll pick it up.
I think the motion controls on the Wii are worse. I'll say that.
Okay, that's good.
But also, this game, WarioWare Get It Together, this game disappointed me profoundly. Because I love
Sure.
WarioWare, but it took away the value proposition of WarioWare. Where like the thing about WarioWare is like, think fast, do this thing, right? And you gotta like kind of gather yourself and like, oh, okay, it's this. I gotta press this and do it this way. But in WarioWare Get It Together, you can like almost, not even almost, you like literally can like get a main, right? So there's like different characters where it still has the like think fast, do this thing, but it's so much easier to orient yourself and get it together because your character can only like move in specific ways. So when you, like, it's so much easier to be like, oh, okay, well, I just move forward or I just start jumping or because what the individual character's skill set is.
Yeah.
So that's I don't like Get It Together for that reason. It takes away that value proposition. Bowser's Fury, I want to put it in must have. Bowser's Fury is a huge W. I think that Bowser's Fury is like in the same way that I feel about, well, I don't want to really spoil that. So like it's like a better executed Wild Area. It's like a taste of like what the future of Mario could be in this like small package. It's like, yo, what if Mario was open world? And it worked really well. Which is the main difference, is that they kind of stuck the landing the first time that they tried it. What the hell is this? Bond. I don't know what this is. This is a game I have never even seen. It's
Dude, I haven't seen any of these.
You haven't seen any of these? Well, you've seen some.
No, it was like the next three. Like, what are those two?
Oh yeah,
moons?
so this is Famicom Detective Club 1 and 2. I haven't played these games because they're not my thing. They're what is it called? Visual novels. They're like they're like a remaster of a Super Nintendo game or a Super Famicom game specifically.
Yeah. To me, I'm like, that's not why I play a game. It just sounds like you want to watch a TV show.
Exactly. I don't like it.
I can kind of appreciate
Pokemon
the
Snap.
Yeah.
Oh, keep going.
So, all right, this is a game I never played until it became a giant meme on my podcast that I hadn't played it, and all the things that I was asking for from Pokemon games. One of my co-hosts was always like, listen,
it's just in this
sounds
game.
like you might enjoy Pokemon Snap.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally played Pokemon Snap a couple months ago. I didn't complete it, but I played a lot of it, and I think it's nice. I think for what it's trying to do, it was a lot of fun. It was fun to stream as well because I'm like actually reacting seriously.
Like, Pokemon just did that. So so that's the thing, right? This is another example of a Pokemon game where it's like, to me, like, this is why, like, spin-offs to me right now in the state of Pokemon in 2025 now, right?
Yeah.
Spin-offs make me angry because it's like, let me finish. Spin-offs make me angry because if the way that wild Pokemon worked in a mainline Pokemon game is how they work in Pokemon Snap, that would make Pokemon, like that version of Pokemon, one of, not the best Pokemon game, but one of the best like games, period. If like catching a Pokemon was like, it could feel like singular in that kind of way, where it's like, oh, the way that I met my Pichu is he was like engaging with this Grookey and they were fighting over this apple, and I decided to myself, when I'm traveling and I see these two Pokemon fighting, I want to catch whichever one wins this fight. Like it's almost like the anime moment of like, oh, Ash met, he was the leader of the Squirtle Squad and he respected him because he's like leader of his team. He's like, exactly. And this game has that in spades, but it's all that it has, right?
Yeah.
If mainline Pokemon, if like just seeing wild Pokemon in the world was like procedural almost, and it had like Pokemon interacted with each other in the world around them in this kind of way, it adds to the world of Pokemon and the idea that like you're building these relationships and you're like you're getting friends and stuff. Like that would be sick. But the way that it exists right now, it's like this, like it's on an island that we'll never get to because it's developed by a whole different company. You know, it's not like a Rockstar Tennis or Rockstar Table Tennis, where eventually Rockstar Table Tennis leads to them putting actual tennis in Grand Theft Auto, and what they learned from doing that, they worked into their mainline game, right? That's kind of, you know, that's the ideal scenario for me for Pokemon. It's like, if we have spin-offs,
the assets to reuse.
Exactly. If we're going to have spin-offs, do it in a way that either is going to build towards the next game or do it once the next game has its footing, you know? Don't do it while we're still in limbo with the mainline games. But anyway,
all that being said, I don't think it's great. I think it's a good game.
I think it's great.
All right. Yeah.
I'll put it bottom of great.
I had a lot of fun with it, but I do think the replayability was not there for me. I kept getting frustrated that I had to like keep replaying the same thing.
I think the replayability is kind of like it, and this makes sense, right? It makes sense because you don't like fighting games.
First time it happened,
right?
Yeah.
So this is similar to fighting games and like arcade games and stuff like that, where it's like the replayability is in the fact that you should want to do it better, is the thing. And if you don't feel that drive, it makes sense that it's not replayable to you. But if you enjoy it, it's like this thing that's like, oh man, I could have got a better picture than that. Oh, they did that thing. I didn't know that they did that. And this Pokemon does this with I need to come back and get that picture because that's a way better picture than that, you know? And like beyond that, there's like the different things that happen when you do different, like when you change certain scenarios about the Pokemon, like the world changes, you go in different directions, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. That will set up different pictures. And like you kind of just want to see like, what else does this game have to show me? Like what it's like the I don't know if you were like on the internet and like paying attention with like Breath of the Wild when it's like, yo, did you know that if you smack the chicken, like if you smack a cuckoo with a flame rod, it just turns into cooked food? That's crazy. You know, it's like that kind of stuff. Like that's the whole new Pokemon Snap experience. It's like, yo, did you know that if you do this to that Pokemon, this happens? It's all like immersive gameplay. Or not immersive. It is immersive. No,
it is immersive.
No, there's another term. It's like I can't think of the term right now.
That's all good. That's all good.
But it's a specific term for games like that, where like the game changes drastically based on what the player does, like how you engage with the
interactive
game. Dynamic is closer to the term, but it's not that.
Sure.
I'm going to think of a specific term and text you at 2 a.m.
I can't. Yeah, please do that. I can't believe how many more games there are on Switch. I literally, when you said Switch first party games, I was like, oh yeah, there's like
Nintendo releases like 20 games a year, man.
I couldn't believe that, dude.
But again,
I could not believe
like I said, a lot of these we can just go through. It's just like there's just more than I've
never played Unite.
There's more that I thought that you have played that we talked about.
Listen, I'm having a great time. I'm looking at the time now and I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
How are there this many?
So Pokemon Unite, I have played it. I played it a lot. I like this game. It's pretty good. But
it's a MOBA.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, I'll put it there.
Sure. Yeah.
Mario 3D World. See, Mario 3D World, since they have Bowser's Fury by itself, I kind of want to put, so Mario 3D World, I think, is a Mario Kart kind of situation. But Mario 3D World kind of had a glow up. Because, like, you know how I was saying before that like certain Wii U games, it was like a timing thing. This game specifically was to an extreme a timing thing, where it's like Mario 3D World is a phenomenal game, but people hated this game. And like you were saying about Pokemon, like when Pokemon first came to Switch, right? People didn't like Let's Go because they wanted a very specific thing. And the first thing that we get is not even like a full-fledged like version of the old game that we had, right? Mario 3D World is like everybody's expecting the Mario Galaxy, the Mario 64, you know, like the like 3D, like the camera's like super zoomed into you. It's like this like cinematic massive video game. 3D World is more like it's a a 2D Mario game, but like 3D, if that makes sense. Like that's like the play style of the video game. And that's good. And it's a fun situation. Yo, Thrill House with the 45 months jump rope challenge was robbed. That's crazy. But yeah, no, 3D World is a very similar situation where people hated it because it was the wrong game at the wrong time. But it is a great game. I think it's really good. But it is a Wii U game that I played for hundreds of hours, and I was
a good Wii U game.
I was like one green star away from literally 100%ing the video game on Wii U. So like it kind of had the Mario Kart effect, but I will say that it's higher than I would have just put it in good personally with that context, but I want to put it in great because I do think that like it being on Switch specifically gave it a little bump. Like people think of the game completely differently now. Like people love this game now, whereas before they hated it because they wanted Mario Odyssey, but we got that. The last game from 2020 is what is this? Oh, Cruising Blast. Never played this game. I never played this game in my life, brother. 2021. Oh, this is Bayonetta 3. I never played this game. I don't care about Bayonetta that much. Sparks of Hope. Didn't play this game. Referred to the diatribe that I had.
There's a lot of rabbits.
For that, there's two, and that's too many. To be fair, because Nintendo told Ubisoft actively make one. Like we're telling you, it's not going to do as well. That's DLC. For the first game.
Okay. Sure.
All right. So Pokemon Violet. I know we're going to talk about this.
Here we go.
All right.
Well, listen. We just found out today. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is going to be playing at 60 FPS.
That is true.
On Switch 2. Pretty big glow up. I guess I'm interested to play it again because right now, if we're just talking about playing it on Switch, I do not think it's a must-have. I think it's a pretty bad game.
This is what I was going to say.
I think there's great things in it, like all Pokemon games. And if you want your Pokemon fix, there are a lot of cool things in the game.
So this is what I was going to say. I don't necessarily think it's must-have, and that's mostly because it didn't do the same thing that Sword and Shield did. But I do think that in a lot of ways it is the best Pokemon game. I think that the performance specifically poisoned the well in a lot of different ways. But I think
but the art style is horrible too.
Yeah, but the art style in Pokemon in general on Nintendo Switch, I don't think is what it should be personally.
I think in Sword and Shield,
I think even in Sword and Shield, it's like still in that like towards that uncanny valley. I think that like
no way. I don't see that at all.
I think that like Scarlet and Violet continued down the path that Sword and Shield was going down, where like we're almost at like this divergent path with like the like 3DS era, where like they kind of were leaning into like the anime sort of look. And
that's what Sword and Shield looked like. And I thought it was good.
So hear me out. Let me finish. So with 3D, like with the 3DS games, they kind of like doubled down into the fact that they were like a cartoon, right? But like Sword and Shield kind of started us off on that, like trying to work in like more realistic-ish textures, and that kind of is what led us into like the tree debacle and like.
I think it's the proportions of the region. Like when you're. I
think it's the proportions, but also like the art style itself. Like it's kind of like this mixed thing. Like Arceus is also kind of guilty of it in a way, where it's this mixed thing where like the Pokemon and the characters kind of look like they're from an anime, but the world kind of wants to look like as realistic as you can get on Nintendo Switch specifically, and I think that makes the game look worse. I think that Scarlet and Violet just doubles down on that, where it's like, oh, let's we're going down this like it's like Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Like that's what it gives me. It's giving Brawl. And I don't like that, but I think that that's more an art style thing than it is like an execution thing, if that makes sense. Like I think it's the textures that they picked. It's not that the game like you know how when everybody like when the Pokemon Stars rumors were flying around and people were like putting Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon into like Citra and they would remove the outlines. Like that's kind of what I think about with Scarlet and Violet, where it's like if somebody just put a different texture pack on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, people be like, this is the best looking Pokemon game we've ever seen. But it just has the wrong texture pack. And again, I don't mean like the performance and the frame drops and all that kind of stuff, whatever. Like I hear that. I think that that's fair to a degree. Me personally, I don't care about that because it's a turn-based game. I'm going through a menu. I've never lost in the video game because the frames dropped. So me, I don't care about that. What I'm thinking about is the fact that like this game made it possible for me to like have this like group experience of like the Pokemon. Like I had my Brock and Misty, you know, like I'm traveling through the region with my group of friends, and we're all like finding Pokemon and be like, yo, this Pokemon's over here. I didn't know this Pokemon. Oh my god, I found a shiny. Come over here, look at this shiny I found. It's sick. Blah blah blah. Oh, you want to do raids? Yeah, let's do raids. Oh, you know, like that open world experience is really cool. I don't think that they did. I
think you're saying all the right things. I just feel like the game didn't deliver on a lot of those things. Like I do think the better open world Pokemon game is like yet to come.
For sure. You know? I agree with that, right? But
the concepts. I totally resonate with the concepts you're bringing up.
So to me, I say all that to say this is coming from somebody that feels like that with Pokemon always, all the time. Like, you're coming at it from somebody that there's like a Pokemon game that you've played, right? And that was like the perfect experience, right? It's not like to me, when I talk about Pokemon as a Nintendo YouTuber, I wholeheartedly believe there has never been a great Pokemon game. There's never been a Pokemon game that if I was in a
you're like a standalone game. This is perfect.
If I'm in a panel, and this happens a decent amount, like with like you know like different gaming blog sites and stuff like that reach out to me for like give us like an article on your favorite games for the year, right? I would never volunteer a Pokemon game as like the game of the year for the gaming industry. Like if it's just a subjective thing, there's been times when Pokemon was my favorite game to come out in its given year, right? That's been the case with both of the Pokemon games on Nintendo. Well, for Sword and Shield and for Scarlet and Violet, they were both my game of the year that they came out.
Really?
Yeah. But even with that in mind, like I said, there's always a game elsewhere that's way better. You know, like when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, it was like, I don't know, God of War or something. You know, like there's a game that actually is like what is the word? It embodies that like game of the year. Like this is the best that the game industry has to offer, you know? Whereas Pokemon is kind of just trying to be a shadow of itself. And everybody has their own opinion on what that shadow should look like. And I think that again poisons the well. Instead of us looking at it from the standpoint of like, what's the best version that this game is trying to be, sort of thing. And that's kind of how I'm looking at it, where it's like, I never think Pokemon games stick the landing. I think this game did a better job at like laying out the vision for what it could be to be the game of the year. I say all that to say I'm not even fighting for it to be in must have. I don't think it's must have. I kind of want to take Sword and Shield out of must have, to be honest with you.
Sword and Shield was in must have, and I'm like, I think it is just honestly, maybe every Pokemon game is just great.
I'll put because
I am so skewed. I feel like I teased you into that. Like,
I still believe. I think the must have. I still feel like it doesn't belong in must have, but I do think it belongs to excellent, because I do think that like the raid battles, like the max raid adventures, add a lot of that value to it. Because again, I think so much of Pokemon is a communal experience, and it's always been like that, even in Pokemon Red and Blue. That's why, like, and I think the internet kind of poisoned that well in that way too, because you have like a concentration of nerds, to put it frankly, that like play games by themselves, and the way that they complete their Pokedex is they buy 2 versions of the game and they trade themselves. That's not how most people on the planet play Pokemon. They have friends and they have siblings and they play the game together, and they go through the game and they're like, yo, let's start a Pokemon game together. Okay, sick. And then you're playing the game and you're like, oh, okay, well, I just started. Did you start yet? Oh, you didn't start yet? Okay, I'll wait to talk to the professor. You know, that's how most people with friends play Pokemon games. And I think that like Pokemon Sword and Shield, and to a larger degree Scarlet and Violet, like injected that into the game, and that's why I think that they have an argument for being better than a lot of the internet says that they are.
Bro, I see that.
So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I will put Sword and Shield because it stuck the landing and it did more to allow for that. You know, like the fact that I still actively play Pokemon Sword and Shield every week, but I don't actively play Scarlet and Violet unless there's a reason to play it. You know, like if I'm doing a draft league thing or something. Like I still like the game, but it doesn't give me a reason to want to play it. So the thing is, like, if Scarlet and Violet, and this is me being totally honest with you, if Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had a max rated adventure equivalent, it would be in must have for me easily. But because it doesn't have something like that, and we do have the technical problems that people have problems with, I want to put it like bottom of whatever the tier is that I have Sword and Shield. Excellent, yeah, like bottom of excellent, top of great. That's what I'm thinking.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all preference. I'm really trying to think about, because you make a really good point. I do think they are trying to cater, or the series has evolved pretty rapidly.
Yeah,
like in a short amount of time. I think I gotta examine what I actually like about these games, because I find myself playing old games so much, and they're so compact. It's just like a story, but every time I play through the story, my team is unique, so the story is unique. My internal, like, whoever the trainer is that I'm embodying changes. I like the campaign, but I guess I recognize the most modern game should also be this like living, breathing game to house all of my Pokemon, right?
Because that's kind of what like, it's clear that that's how they think about Pokemon. And that's how people think about Pokemon now, mostly. Like, I think that there's like this echo chamber that goes on in the Pokemon community, because Pokemon community is a bunch of people that all play the game in a similar way. So it's like, and this happens a lot across any community. It's not just Pokemon community. This happens in general, where like there's people like us that make content, and then there's people in our chats that are in our chat. You know, like not only did they seek out to watch content about a video game, you know, they seeked out content about a video game, and they're engaging with the people that made that content in a chat. That's not most people that play games, and that's definitely not most people that like Pokemon. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, these new Pokemon games are trying to win over more people that do not fit in that very narrow lane.
My favorite, text messages are from like friends from high school who go like, "Bro, did you play? Like, have you played Sword and Shield? Like, do you know what this Pokemon is? It's called Beartic. This is so sick." Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, buddy,
like, that's not even a new one.
I know that's not even a new one, but it's like, it made it to the team. They're like, do you know what Cacturn is? I'm like, yes, that's been out for 20 years. Yeah. I don't tell them that. I just say, that's awesome.
That's the thing that's funny, because like I said, you know how I'm doing the series, right? I just like with Black and White, because that's like the first game that I'm playing that have two different versions. I started playing it with my friend Colton, who fits that description, where he's more of a gamer. He streams and stuff, right? But he's not like an active Pokemon game in the sense that like he's buying every Pokemon game. Like, he buys every Pokemon game now because he's a streamer. But like for years and years and years, like, he would very casually engage with Pokemon. So he's playing Pokemon Black and White for the first time. He's never played Pokemon Black and White. And this is even more so a thing, because it's like Pokemon Black and White take place in our neck of the woods, you know? He's never played the New York Pokemon game, and he's from New York. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So like, he's having this whole thing of like, yo, this Pokemon's sick, and this Pokemon's cool, and this area is this, and this is just Brooklyn Bridge, you know? Like,
that is honestly so sick.
And that's how I think most, like, that's the fan that Pokemon Company is trying to win over. They're not trying to win over the people that are like in the PokeTuber YouTube. Yeah, like, they don't, it's not, I'm not going to say they don't care about them, but those people are already accounted for. They're going to buy the game. They're just going to buy the game. And the few people that want a very narrow version of the game are worth trading for the tens of millions of people that will buy a new take on the game that's more in line with the games that they do engage with, you know? Because at the end of the day, 40 million people, you know, played the original Pokemon games when they first came out, right?
100%.
And then half of that played the next one, and then half of that played the one after that, right? Like, there was a fall off, and there's a reason for that. It's because most people don't want the same thing over and over again. Most people want Pokemon to evolve in line with the rest of the industry. They wanted it to be in line with Zelda. So like, when the first Pokemon game came out, it makes sense that it's in line with like Link to the Past, right? Because that's more or less the time that it came out. But why isn't the next one in line with Ocarina of Time? And why isn't the one after that in line with Wind Waker? You know, and why isn't the one that's now in line with Breath of the Wild? You know, but it's because they didn't evolve at the same pace. They just kept remaking Red and Blue, and they didn't stop remaking Red and Blue until the Switch era, and then they had to learn how to make video games all over again.
Yeah, I know, it's insane.
But yeah, moving on.
I love the experimentation of all these new Pokemon games on Switch. I'm really excited for the Switch 2 era. I'm gonna change my camera battery. I'm gonna let the dogs out.
Okay.
But there's a lot of games coming up that I haven't played, so you could probably get through those.
Okay, bet. I'll get through them, and I'll stop at Arceus for you because I know you've played that. All right.
I guess I'm gonna say.
So next up, Splatoon 3. Off rip chat. This game is not as good. This game's not as good as Splatoon 2, unfortunately. I think that it's a similar situation to Mario Maker 2, where like in theory it should be the better game. But execution-wise, they dropped the ball. Like the online still to this day, I played it like either early this year or late last year, and the game still has connection issues. I still can't like stay in a party for more than 3 matches maximum. And that really sucks, man. I think that in a lot of ways, like the gameplay did improve. The gameplay runs well. It's still a Splatoon game. I think that the single player is better. So that's why it's still like, I still think it's great. You know what? Hold on, wait. Yeah. So I'll still put, it's still in great. Splatoon 2, I think, is like the better game because it like sticks to landing. In the same way that I think that Sword and Shield sticks to landing. And the thing that like I do want to like recontextualize a little bit is like if this was like Nintendo Switch games and you like I recommend you play your these Nintendo Switch games on Nintendo Switch 2 in this order. No. I think that like bare minimum, not necessarily they switch places, but I think Scarlet and Violet, they're next to Sword and Shield, like that kind of thing. Because most of the reason why I even bend on like Scarlet and Violet not being an S, because again, it's my favorite Pokemon game on the platform by far. In like, you know, in the sense of like what game would I want to play? For most things, like we play Sword and Shield because it has utility, right? But Scarlet and Violet, like if I gave myself a reason to play the game, I would have more fun playing the game because there's more things to do in that gameplay wise, you know, the bigger open world, that kind of stuff. Shiny hunting's better in that game, so on and so forth, or it's more fun, I should say, if I'm just playing it by myself. But anyway, I say all that to say, this is just like if you're playing a Nintendo Switch game on the Nintendo Switch system. Specifically, because I do think that Scarlet and Violet, like the performance things, I think is going to like reinvent how people feel about the game. And then the next Pokemon game is going to probably be either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever, and people are going to be like, Scarlet and Violet is way better than this. But anyway, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I never played this game. What is this? Oh, this is Fire Emblem Warriors sequel. I never played this game either. Kirby and Forgotten Land, I love this game. This game is really good. I think this game goes in great. I will put this game right under Scarlet and Violet. I think this game is like this game was like a moment of vindication for me. It was like I've been saying forever. It's like I wish Pokemon. I can't wait until Pokemon has this moment of like when they actually pull the trigger on making a big change, because Kirby fans swore up and down that like changing Kirby would kill Kirby. It would, you know, it's going to turn off all the hardcore fans and nobody's going to buy the game and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. But in reality, when they changed it, it just won over more people. It made people that wouldn't play Kirby before play Kirby, and then they quadrupled the last Kirby game. So yeah, I think that like this by far and away is the best Kirby game probably ever. But I think that even that, like, it's not like what Kirby is as a franchise. I don't think it can qualify really for excellent yet. I'm waiting for like, this is like the Kirby 3D world. I'm waiting for the Kirby Odyssey, and I'm hoping that that can be excellent, if not like a must-have territory kind of situation. Hardcore Kirby fans is a wild arrangement of words. Yo, I'm telling you, they fought me down, bro. They fought me down. I had a series of Kirby videos where like they had the demo came out and I played the demo and I was like, this game is going to be disappointing. I can see from the trailers that this game is not going to be fun. Then we play, and I played the demo. It's not going to be fun. And people are like, the game didn't even come out yet. You didn't play the game. And then I made another video where I'm like, yo, I told you, game sucks. So I think that the same thing is going to happen with Pokemon. I think that the second that Pokemon has like all the technical things, like they're ready to like fully invest in the game, and they spend the amount of time that they should, and they actually learn how to develop an open world video game instead of just trying to make a Game Boy game every year. People will see the light. More people will understand where I'm coming from, I think. Mario Strikers, this is a Mario sports game on Nintendo Switch, so it goes in the same place. It goes in where did I put it? Like towards the bottom of good. And this is probably the worst example of all of them. So low key, I want to like literally put it in the bottom of good, like below Mystery Dungeon. All right. Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. I mean, the Switch Sports Resort. Nintendo Switch Sports is the same thing. It's a Mario sports game, but on Nintendo Switch. It has the same exact problems as the Mario sports games. I think it's probably better than Mario Golf in this regard, but barely. And then we're at Arceus. So I'll skip. Hold on. I'll go through and I'll do the haven't playeds. I didn't play Dream Cafe. I mean, the Buffet or whatever it's called, Kirby's Dream Buffet. I'll skip Pokemon because I'm sure he probably has opinions on this. So this is one of the games I wish, if I could have got more people to want to play this, I would have got this game, because I do think this game looks fun from everything that I've seen. I've seen like other YouTubers play it, and the game looks fun, but it's just the kind of game that like people can make unfun fast by like, you know, their preconceived opinion, them immediately writing the game off before they played it. Like kind of what could have happened to 1-2 Switch if I didn't have people in the real world that actively wanted to play the video game, you know? It's like the kind of thing, it's like insert thing is amazing when you don't have a bitch in your ear telling you it's bad. You know, it's like that's what I feel like the 1-2 Switch franchise is. Like the game is fun, but gamers just want to hate it. That said, again, I didn't buy it because I wanted to be able to play with other people and nobody else committed to buy the game. So unfortunately, that didn't happen. Pikmin 4, I think Pikmin 4 is really good. I'll put it in great. Pikmin 4 goes above, right below Donkey Kong, above Yoshi's. And then, okay, I gotta skip Mario Wonder because I know Dusty has opinions on that. This is another game, Super Mario RPG, that I wanted to play, but I didn't because of other games that were around it. I'm gonna assume Dusty hasn't played WarioWare. What is it called? Move It on this? This is Move It, right? WarioWare Move It? Yeah, Move It. I was gonna call it Smooth Moves too, because that's basically what it is. I love this game. I think this game's excellent. This is like a similar, like where I would play this game way more if I knew more people that had it. But that still doesn't stop me from wanting to play it. And I bought it and I had fun, and I still have fun whenever I play it. I just wish I had more people to play it with. Like if I had people that wanted to play this game, like this game and another game that we'll get to in a bit, I would play this like Smash Tuesday levels. Like I would do a Wario, like Wacky Wednesdays of like playing like the more like casual Nintendo games every week. I would do that 100%. And this is one of them. So I'm putting it like bottom X. I'll put it like here. All right, you good?
I'm good, man.
All right, so I skipped a few that I figured you would have thoughts on. I skipped Arceus. So thoughts on Arceus.
Nice. Thoughts on Arceus. I think to continue the conversation we had with Scarlet and Violet, I do think it kind of it's a drastically different direction for the franchise.
Right.
And actually, this is the only Pokemon game where I have comfortably boasted or recommended to friends.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
this is the only. Remember, you were talking about like Pokemon games are not game of the year.
Yes. Uh-huh.
This game is not game of the year, but it is
It's the closest thing that you could like.
closest thing we've ever had.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is.
So-
And it focuses on an adventure. It focuses on collection.
Right.
It focuses on exploration.
My
Dude, this game is
problem-
incredible.
My problem with it, and I want to put it, spoilers for you and everybody else. I do want to put it relatively high. But
I think this is the only Pokemon game that should be must have.
I can't in good conscience put it in must have.
It's a
and
must
this
have
is-
game. It's
I
and the
dis-
vibes.
I dis-
vibes
I
bring it up to
disagree.
tears.
I disagree because
Because I don't think Legends ZA is going to be that high for me.
I think Legends ZA has an argument. Well, we'll see. Because the reason why I think Legends, well, there's two reasons. There's two reasons why I think Legends Arceus doesn't belong that high. And the first reason is, like I said before, with a lot of the other games that we have up here that are not Pokemon, with snipper clips and stuff like that, where it's like, it's fun, but it's fun for a very specific amount of time, and then it is aggressively not fun. It's like it becomes a slog at a point. I think for Pokemon fans, that doesn't happen as drastically, but I think that the game gets old is the thing, and that's not a great feeling. Like when you're first playing the game and it's like, oh yeah, this is cool, and you catch a Pokemon and I can sneak up on the thing and I call him because I threw the mud and I didn't even have to throw a Pokemon at him. I just threw the Pokeball and he didn't even see me. And I was playing Metal Gear Solid.
I have heard this take
right?
before. I have heard this take before.
Like that.
Yeah.
That is all well and good and it's fun, but that eventually wears off. Eventually, you're able to systematize okay, I understand how I catch this thing and I do this like that and blah blah blah, and then you're able to like almost set your clock to it. And that is the case in a lot of different ways that like could have changed this, but they don't. Like Alpha Pokemon, that was a good opportunity for them to potentially change it. But Alpha Pokemon are also predetermined. So like a thing that could have been
they're
like,
not. No, they're not.
Not
there
all
are
of them.
There are
Not all of
predetermined,
them.
but there's
not
there's
all of them.
Any
but-
Pokemon could be an alpha in the world,
Right.
like a shiny.
Right.
That part.
But there are many alpha Pokemon that are predetermined alpha Pokemon that are always going to be there, and they return on a cycle. It's like when I catch,
I don't know. I feel like
when I catch an
yeah.
Alpha Gliscor, right? That Alpha Gliscor is in the game always, all the time, in the same spot. That's where the Alpha Gliscor is. There's an Alpha Rapidash spot. There's an Alpha Snorlax spot. There's an Alpha Empoleon spot. There's an Alpha, so on and so forth. There's like one Alpha Pokemon that I caught that I don't think I've seen anybody else catch. And I think that is like an experience that like they could have made it better. Where it's like, oh man, like I have this Alpha Banerian. That's insane. That's crazy, right? But when it's like you feel that same way about those Pokemon that I just listed of like, yo, I found an Alpha Empoleon. And people are like, well, everybody caught that one. You know, and I think that
I don't know. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. I feel like every time I pick up this game, this game has all the same pros for me that Breath of the Wild does, and I understand it is the developers definitely, and the directors definitely were inspired by the Zelda team and the work that they were able to create. But I feel like down to the sound engineering, like. There's so much detail in this game, and I think it stands for something. The vibes are there for a Pokemon game. This is what I've always been imagining. The gameplay is fluid. There is so much discovery.
I'd push back on the fluid gameplay as well. Like me and
Yeah.
Trev talk about this a lot. Specifically, the ride Pokemon suck in this game. Oh my
Yeah,
god, the ride Pokemon are garbage. Oh my god. That is the farthest thing from fluid. It is light years from fluid because there's so many moments where you can accidentally be on the wrong Pokemon, and that feels like
that does happen quite
trash.
a bit.
It feels so bad. Oh my god. And there's
Yeah.
and again and the kind of way that I was saying about like the performance in Scarlet and Violet, where it's like it doesn't bother me because I've never lost because of frame drop. I've died several times because the game, the way that it's like, oh, the way our system works, you're on this ride Pokemon now. And that feels terrible. That feels bad to like literally lose the game because the game had a poor design decision. You know, I completely agree with you on the vibes thing. Everything that you said, I agree. But that's the only reason why I think this game is good at all. You know, because I think there's a lot of gameplay elements that shoot this game down for me and would make me not like it. Like, I think there's a lot of things that this game, and let me explain further. I think there's a lot of things that the game tries to do that it doesn't do in a way that should be done in 2022. I think that they tried to do, or 2021. I think they tried to do like boss battles. They feel like boss battles in a PlayStation 2 game. And I don't mean that in the kind of way that people try to diminish Nintendo Switch graphics or whatever. Like, oh, I mean, actually, it feels like a PlayStation 2 boss. The hitboxes are off. The way that they determine your invincibility when you get hit is not smart because you can literally get put in a frame trap where you get hit by a specific attack and the recovery time for you to get back up from that attack is too long. So when you get back up, you get hit by another attack because of the way that they design their action-based gameplay. This is
also interesting to me because from my perspective, like this game felt like the most the most gamey Pokemon
exactly
game, you know?
See, but that's the thing, I agree with you. I just don't think that it's the same thing that you said about Scarlet and Violet, where it's like for Scarlet and Violet there's a lot of ideas that they did and that's why I value it, but again I concede on why it shouldn't be as high as I personally would put it because they didn't stick the landing. I think Arceus is the same exact thing. I think there's a lot of cool ideas that they introduced, but they didn't stick the landing on most of it. And I think that kind of is like that. It speaks volumes that people will speak so highly about Pokemon Legends Arceus, but at any given time, when I look at it, 9 times out of 10 across YouTube and Twitch, there's more people playing Pokemon Sword and Shield than there are playing Legends Arceus. There's more people playing Scarlet and Violet, which again, that's a newer game, so like obviously, but people don't play this game a lot. There's the shiny hunters that go back to Arceus, and then there's the super diehard Pokemon fans. But most people play Arceus one time and then they never touch it again.
I get what you're saying. Modern Pokemon games do have more variety, especially. I mean, I kind of want to push back on the streamer thing because I think what that is that like when you're playing Legends Arceus, you know what the hunts are going to be. You know, like if it's shiny hunting.
Exactly.
Like,
but that's part of the problem.
Like,
that's what I mean.
Pretty linear.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I get that.
Yeah, that's my point.
But that doesn't do anything for me because it's like, again, when I think Legends Arceus is very similar to like Heart Gold, Soul Silver. People say that game or like the Hoenn titles, right? People say those things are like linear or they're boring or they're like they have a bad level curve, whatever, right? But that's to me, they feel like a compact experience.
So I don't even, so I don't agree with that with the Heart Gold Soul Silver thing. I don't agree with
the RPG element of like
I hear you, and yellow. I'm saying right? I don't agree with people who are saying
through it and it's great every time.
So that's the thing. I disagree with that. I think Arceus is a terrible game to replay. And it's mostly because of what I was talking about before, where everything, like most of the things in the game, they get to a point when where they feel old. Like the value and the reason why I would recommend people to play Arceus is because the first time you play it, it's sick. It's like, oh man, like it's really cool to play a Pokemon game that's an action game and like it's this whole open world thing. You don't have to like initiate a Pokemon in battle and like, that sort of thing. It's like you have your own individual stories about how you caught this Pokemon because it's not like this linear experience of like I encountered the Pokemon, I attacked it 3 times, I threw the Pokeball, it's not that. But all of that stuff gets to the point where it's like, oh, okay, I understand how the sausage is made, and that makes it not taste as good. If that analogy makes sense, where it's like I don't even see people replay Legends Arceus. Most people
people do. They're out there.
They're definitely out there again, but I feel like I think it's very specific people. And like I said, I'm not saying I think this game is bad. I want to put it in the same row as I want to put it like in this area. I want to put it somewhere in the like Scarlet and Violet, in between Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield. I don't think it's a must-have.
What's so special, I think, about Legends Arceus is that it's a game that requires your full attention.
I agree.
And I think a lot of Pokemon fans.
I agree with you.
I would say we just put out a podcast on Hidden Power about shiny hunting. I sat down with some shiny hunters at like PAX East.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of made the comment, and I was surprised they all agreed, because this is something I've always thought, but it hits different when other people agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like Pokemon games, I was talking about shiny hunting, but Pokemon games are like a fidget for a lot of people. It's something that people do just kind of like while, like, they play through the game while they watch a show or while
I wish
they
I
do
could put
something else.
games on top of each other, because I feel like
Yeah, can we do like a very great?
I want to like
split.
I want to split.
and a kind of
split them
excellent
in
tier
half.
and a-
I want to put them on the same exact spot, because I think that the reason,
Yeah.
like, I think we're kind of like coming
They're
at
great for different things.
exactly. We're
They
coming
do
at
different
coming
things.
at the issue from different places, but we're meeting in the middle. Where it's like I think
I
both of
almost
these
wanna
games
say-
are incomplete versions of what the
Yes.
best
Yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
game would be. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair. Because I almost want to say, like, if Scarlet and Violet didn't have any post game content, right? If you couldn't
If I couldn't
battle
play
your
with my friends, if it didn't have any post game content,
and you were forced to
it-
play through the campaign again, you'd be like, this game sucks, right?
No.
But if Legends Arceus had post game, if you could battle, if you could do all this
so
fun
here's
stuff,
here's the thing.
I think you'd be looking at it differently,
So,
because
like,
a lot of games don't.
I think if a lot of the things that you said, if Arceus had what it doesn't have, I would agree. But what I'm saying is I literally have replayed Scarlet and Violet several times in the last 2 years. I've played Scarlet and Violet in the last 2 years, like 4 times, and had fun every single, and technically more than that, because me and Lee did the Soul Link. Lee, my friend Trev, and Mars, we all did a cooperative, like competitive Soul Link situation, like a 2v2 Soul Link. And then I did a Nuzlocke where my Pokemon can only learn moves that they wanted to learn, because they have the the mechanic where it's like, do you want to learn this? And they'll say, yeah, I want to learn this, delete this move, or no, I don't want to learn this. Like my freaking Annihilate didn't want to learn Rage Fist for his life, which is crazy. But yeah, I've replayed it for that. I did a regular Nuzlocke, and I had fun every single time. And again, it's Nuzlocke, so you're replaying it over and over and over again if you lose. You know what I mean? So like, I will push back on that. I've replayed Pokemon Scarlet and Violet multiple times. On the contrary, I've tried playing Arceus. I've tried replaying it on several occasions, and every time, exactly what I said. What happens. It's like I get to the tutorial, and I'm like, I've literally done this already. Like, they're trying to explain to me how cool it is that I can throw the Pokeball at the Pokemon and catch the Pokemon, and like I don't have to battle them and stuff. And I'm like, well, I already know that, and that's half the value of that moment. It's like you not knowing that, and that not being a thing that you could do historically, and now you can.
Yeah.
But I could, and I did, and I spent 60 hours doing it, and I experienced that, and the frustration of like the poorly thought out and executed boss battles. That's my problem, right? It's like the gameplay experience. I think that a lot of the stuff that a lot of problems, and even this is like, there's nuance to even this, but I think by far and away, most people's experience in terms of like the negative, thoughts that they have on the performance of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are superficial things. It's like, oh, there was a frame dip here. There's pop-in, right? Most people that have had technical issues did not have technical issues that made it harder to play the game. Like, to do what the game is requiring you to do. There's some people that clip through a wall and they lost their save, or that like they messed up their save and like that kind of thing. Those kinds of issues, absolutely 100%, they're unforgivable. Like that sort of thing. Yeah. But by far and away, most people that have played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the technical issues that they've experienced, it's like, the game doesn't run great. And that's not ideal, but that's not like a death nail.
Yeah.
In the way that people talk about it.
I think maybe like, so what I'm gravitating towards is really just the immersion, and I don't mean just like surface level. Yeah. I don't mean surface level immersion. I mean like when I say the vibe of Legends Arceus, it's really just like the whole experience. Like, I feel like I'm that player when I'm playing the game. I'm locked in. Right, I can hear the sounds, the clicking of the buttons, the gust of the wind. You can hear Pokemon in the distance. You an alpha pops up and literally kills you. Like, I'm in the world. Yeah, And when I say I don't have the same level of immersion in Violet, you are right that it's partially the performance. But for me, it's also that there's nothing to do in the world. For me, it's that nothing in the world looks pretty. For me, it's that when I'm toggling in the box settings, everything is so clunky and delayed. It just, I'm constantly ripped out of the game. So, yeah, I think you're right that everything just kind of like, both of these games are like the good and the bad sides of like
Exactly. It's like they're the two halves of a good Pokemon game. And again, or a good game, I should say. Because I still contend, even though I do like Scarlet and Violet,
gonna be good.
Even though I like Scarlet and Violet, I still contend there's never been a good Pokemon game. There's games that Pokemon fans agree they like.
I think Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow are.
I think those games suck. I think those are the worst Pokemon games.
But at the time,
exactly. But that's a whole other discussion.
Did they hold up?
No, absolutely not. And
right, we gotta cook through this.
Yeah. So okay, I think this is a game that we could both agree is not good.
I've never
Detective
played
Pikachu.
it. I want nothing to do with Detective Pikachu. I don't know why they spend money on it.
I wish they did a better job at executing it. Because I like the idea, but it's just not even a good idea. It's not a good version of what it's trying to be, and that's the disappointing part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. So I played Wonder. I played Tears of the Kingdom. And I played Thousand Year Door, but on GameCube. And I did play Echoes of Wisdom, so I can say stuff about those. But other than that,
this on here, I played the demo, but I didn't play the full game.
Dude, this is so eye-opening. I'm like mystified at how many games like
I played neither of
first
these
party
video games. That's the thing. A lot of these, like towards the end, a lot of the first party games just immediately go into here because, like, at this point, it's like for me, it's just like the live service game box at a point. It's like I'm playing Smash, I'm playing Pokemon, I'm playing, the newer games. There's not. So Mario Wonder, you said you played that, right?
Mario Wonder, I think I 100%ed it. Maybe not 100%. I like 90%.
I haven't even finished Mario Wonder.
Oh, dude, so much fun. I locked in.
We're gonna have to
it was so much
compromise a little bit on this. I think,
dude, it was.
I'm willing
so
to put
much
it.
fun.
I'm willing to put it in great.
I really like Mario games. I don't like when. Sorry, I like 2D platform Mario games. I really do like them. They are nostalgic. I think a lot of the older ones maybe don't hold up as much. This felt like. The older ones do hold up. The ones that I played. What do I even think about this? I don't know.
Maybe this will help you.
I think
maybe this will help you a little bit. But my problem with Wonder specifically is, I mean, it's kind of what I was explaining to you before, where it's like 2D Mario games and 3D Mario games now, but originally before the new Super Mario Brothers series became a thing, 2D Mario games were the same thing in the sense that like a 2D like Super Mario. No. Listen. Super Mario Brothers came out. And it was Super Mario Brothers. You could tell immediately this is Super Mario Brothers, right? Super Mario Brothers 2 is weird because, like, in Japan, it's kind of more similar to like what it is now, whereas like it
was like a different game. It was literally a different
but like
game.
So that's Super Mario Brothers 2 here, which is Doki Doki Panic in Japan. But I was talking about the Lost Levels of Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan, which is more along the lines of what I was saying. They are now, where they're the same game, it's just new levels, right? But in America, as Americans, our experience is like Super Mario Brothers 2, which is literally a different game, and then Super Mario Brothers 3, which even if you just compare it to Super Mario Brothers 1, looks entirely different from Mario 1, right? Super Mario World looks entirely different than Mario 3, and it builds on Mario 3 in a lot of different important ways, right? Then we stop getting new 2D Mario games. Then we get the new Super Mario Brothers games, which is basically a tribute series, which again makes it feel old. It's like there's like new paint, but it's like an old version of like what you already had before. And after the new Super Mario Brothers series, we stopped getting like that jump. We stopped even getting the Super Mario Brothers to, even if we don't count 2, to Mario 3. Or 3 to World. Everything has become like a prettier new Super Mario Brothers game.
Yeah.
But
there's no innovation.
And Mario Wonder, it kind of a little bit inches towards trying to be a little bit of that. But at the end of the day,
it felt familiar enough for me to pick it up, but it was unique enough and it felt like a cultural moment. Especially Mario not being voiced by like the Mario guy or whatever.
Right.
Like Elephant Mario, so weird. Like there were so many weird things about the game that I honestly appreciated.
Yes,
it's like the wackiness of Pokemon, or the wackiness of I don't know, Mario. Yeah, I don't know.
So all
It
that
felt
stuff
crazy.
for me,
It felt silly. It wasn't taking itself too seriously.
all that stuff
I
for
loved
me,
it.
it elevates it above New Super Mario Brothers games, but it doesn't elevate it enough. It's like I feel like how people felt like with 3D World, but we never got an Odyssey. Is the thing. It's like we haven't gotten a new Mario, a new 2D Mario game that reinvented what 2D Mario is within the context of that franchise since World. That's the last one that they tried actually new ideas that weren't just like, here's a new suit.
Sure.
And that's kind of what Wonder, even the Wonder Seeds are like glorified suits. It's like, it changes the level design a little bit, you know, but there's no like mechanical differences. And they do a little bit of it with the, you know, with the ability, the badges that you can assign. They do that a little bit, you know, like with Mario, there's like speed runners. They really like the movement in Mario Odyssey. That's there a little bit with the different badges. And I think I would like Wonder a lot more if the badges weren't as limited as they are. Like if you could like mix and match badges and you can even have like 2 badges, I think this game moves up a tier. But the fact that it's like, it's basically just a new Super Mario Brothers game, but like new Super Mario Brothers, Deluxe plus DLC. That's kind of what it feels like to me, and that's really the only thing that's stopping me from putting it in like must have.
Yeah. So as someone who hasn't played any of the other games, like or the Switch Mario, the 2D platform Switch Mario games, or the Wii U games, this was like a lot. This felt like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a marketing thing, but
that's fair.
Yeah, I stunk a lot of time into it.
I think that's fair.
Listen, I don't think it's outstanding. I don't think it's Where is it in great?
I put it in great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, again, the only thing that's stopping me from putting it's a similar thing, except I don't think it's as big of a deal. And the reason why people haven't played it or
played the heck out of it, like, and I haven't played it since.
Like the new Super Mario Brothers series is anything but inaccessible. Mario Kart 8 got moved down a tier because like the way that we feel about it and stuff like that. But it's ultimately as high as it is because it was relatively inaccessible. 100 million people could have played a new Super Mario. 250 million people could have played a new Super, because the DS had a new Super Mario. Way more actually, because 3DS had 2 new Super Mario Brothers games. It had 1. You could play the first one. Yeah. But it had new Super Mario Brothers 2, and then new Super Mario Brothers 1 was on the DS, and then new Super Mario Brothers Wii is on the Wii. So like that's a whole 2 generations of people that could have played that, right? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if you didn't have a Wii U, you couldn't play Mario Kart 8. So that's a whole different thing.
Sure.
That's what I feel like I do about that. Tears of the Kingdom. You got any strong opinions? You think this is not a must-have? I think it's must-have.
It's a must-have. It's great. I love it. I was playing it. Listen, I did the classic. I was joking about it, and then it actually became a reality. I did the thing where I was trying to min-max my character right before Ganon, and then I put down the game, and I never picked it up. So I picked up the game recently, trying to like relearn the controls, etc. It's kind of tough to like get myself technically back up to par, but I'm looking forward to finishing it. Listen, it's a great game. I was a Zelda head more than anyone growing up. I love this series. It's really what I'm glad Pokemon is taking, ideas out of the book.
Just can't wait until they go full bore, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, seriously.
I can't wait. I feel
Pokemon
bad.
Legends
I feel bad for the Soul Silvers of the world. I hope that the changes that they make, I hope that they feel differently than they assume they will. But I like selfishly, I can't wait. Because it's like with Zelda, like we saw it in real time, and I was talking about it earlier with the Kirby thing, where it's like in theory, in people's heads, because what the franchise has always been is what they like, and they they're scared to change. They're like, I don't want them to mess it up, and then everybody will hate it. But like in practice, when they stick the landing, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild tripled Zelda's fan base, literally tripled it. And Kirby doubled its fan base when they made a change. Like, I think that if Pokemon sticks the landing on a big change, Pokemon could be like, it could like actually be like Grand Theft Auto level. Like everybody run away when Pokemon releases a video game.
Legends EA is doing some pretty big things with the real-time combat, so I'm looking forward to that, but we'll have to see.
I don't think Legends EA will be the game that does it. I think Legends is kind of like, it's like, how like Tupac says he wants to spark the mind that changed the world. It's like
Yep,
that.
yep, yep.
It's like Tupac isn't the one that revolutionized nothing, but he might have, he might have inspired the person that eventually will,
Dude, those features are gonna be in Generation 10 in some way or a future title.
I hope so.
It's all incremental.
I think we'll eventually get there, but we'll see when they do, because they move at a slower pace than I would. I think that they're moving in the direction that I think they are.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to doubt that they are. They've just reconfirmed how I felt at every step of the way. But they're just moving at a slower pace than I would.
Yeah. AJ, I hate to do this, but I think I'm gonna have to go get the car.
I'm just gonna go through the rest of these games. I don't have a lot of thoughts on most of these, but you can head out. That's fine.
I'm trying to think if I have like any strong thoughts on. I mean, obviously, Thousand Year Door is great, just a great campaign overall. I love that game. I didn't play the remake on Switch, but let me see what else have I played, and then Echoes of Wisdom for Zelda.
Oops.
Put that down after like spending a lot of time with it. It was kind of an airplane game for me. I feel like I got kind of bored at a certain point, almost as if.
So I could place. What was the last game that you said? I was trying to like rearrange my scene so I could change.
Sorry.
I know you're on Echoes of Wisdom, but what was the game before that? Because I could place it while you're talking about it.
Thousand Year Door.
Okay, so I haven't played that on Switch, so that's all you.
Oh, well, I've only played it on GameCube, and it's a great game.
So I haven't played it.
And if it's anything better,
I haven't played it either.
If
I haven't played the Switch version, I just put in haven't played.
Sure. All right. And then Echoes of Wisdom. Do you have any strong opinions on that?
I don't like this game. I think that like it's sort of thing about it is like they just didn't go far enough. Because Echoes of Wisdom was kind of trying, it was like hinting at being like the Breath of the Wild moment for 2D Zelda. Yeah. And like in some ways it's that, but at the end of the day, like the trappings of 2D Zelda are very strong with that one. So it kind of, it knocks it down.
It was a really cool world.
I would put it in like either the bottom of the tier that Link's Awakening is in, or the tier directly below it. Because I think that.
Yeah, put it below it. I played it. I liked it. Like I had a good time when I was playing it.
I didn't even finish it.
Was all the classic, it was all the classic Zelda tropes. But yeah, I didn't finish it. I think something happened. I got a point into the game and I was like, oh, everything is just the same. Or a powered up version of the same, I'm
not going to put it in mid.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
It was okay.
It needed something.
It just kind of, you know what? You know what's funny? It kind of had the same thing that happened to me with not Scarlet Violet. Arceus happened to me with that game, where it's like, it presented this opportunity of like, oh, the echoes, like that's a sick idea, but then it gets to a point where you're able to like gamify it too much. You're able to gamify, like min max it to the point where you play through the entire game with like 3 out of like 50 echoes, and that's whack. Like, what's the point of the diversity if you're not actually dipping it, or if none of it is actually required of you, or even encouraged? That lines up
with my experience.
So like that. That's why that game I burnt out on.
That's so true. Why would you ever use like the weaker version of the thing that you have?
Yeah.
But it's just taking up space. Listen, it's been a blast to be on this podcast. Like I said, I've been listening to this show forever. So I'm thrilled to hear it back, and I'm thrilled to be on it, and I hope to be on it again. If you guys want to support me, Dusty Go on YouTube.
Check out the description, all the stuff.
Listen, I'm trying to set up multi-streaming so I can be over here on Twitch more.
I'm down for that.
This is like a different culture for me.
Yeah, I can help you with that. I think
dude.
Side order's pretty
good. AJ, have a great night, man.
All right, later, Dusty.
See you guys.
All right, let's finish this up, chat. Side Order is the next video game. I've been just putting stuff that I haven't put. I'm gonna for podcast listeners, I'm gonna post the image of the tier list. I've been trying to like describe where exactly I put it, but if at some point I lost track and didn't mention certain things, you'll be able to see exactly where I put what by looking at that. Okay, there's Splatoon. So I have played Side Order. I like Side Order. I think the idea is really cool. But similarly to Splatoon 3, when compared to Splatoon 2, it's the same thing. You know, it's like it was like, you know, similar idea, but they didn't stick the landing in a lot of ways, unfortunately. And you know what's disappointing is like I like the concept of side order more than I like the concept of the Splatoon 2 DLC. So like I don't know. I guess we do the same thing. I just put it wherever I put Splatoon 2. I'll put it like higher. Cuz I like Splatoon, I like side order more than I like my first impression of Splatoon 3 as a base game. And then F-Zero 99, I like this game a lot. I'll put it in great because it's just something that like it's fun when I play it or when I played it, but I just kind of fell off of it and lost interest. But it was fun. So I'll put it like bottom of great. And then Metroid Prime Remastered. Metroid Prime Remastered, selfishly, it just got me tight because I think that the for me personally, the game's not bright enough. I was not able to play through it because I couldn't freaking see. So off the strength of that, I'll put it in bottom of good because like when I could see, it was a fun time. but a lot of the time I could not see what I was doing. Fire Emblem Engage, I think this game's really good, but the game again selfishly just made me mad. But it didn't make me mad in the same kind of like game design way. It's a lot of it is a skill issue. So I'm gonna put this game in like great. Because I think the game's really good. And I think eventually this is a game that I'll probably come back to. I just got tilted because I lost my friend. So I'll put this game right above Mario Maker 2. But I think the game's really fun. I like Fire Emblem. That might be a game I come back to on Switch too. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I guess this is DLC. I have not played it. Did I play this game on Switch? I think I did. Yeah, I did get this on Switch. I was thinking because I have this on iPad. But I also got it on Switch. I like Pocket Card Jockey. It's a really good game. It's a fun little distraction game. I think I would play it more if I didn't have more distraction games already than I need. You know, like right now, my distraction game is Balatro. I don't need Balatro and Pocket Card Jockey. So like, but that again, that's a personal thing. So I'll put it bottom of excellent because I think that game is really good. Princess Peach, I wanted to play this game a lot, but I think other stuff was coming out and I was just like, nah, I'm good. Mario Party. No, I think the thing with Princess Peach was that was when I started Pokemon. I was starting the Pokemon replaying series, and it just wasn't really worth adding that to the shuffle when I was having so much fun just replaying and starting the retrospective series. But Mario Party Jamboree, I think this is the best Mario Party game on the console. I think it's a must-have personally. I think this game is phenomenal. There's literally nothing that I don't like about Mario Party Jamboree. And then Mario Luigi, Brothership. I think this game is okay. It's okay. It like I think top of mid is accurate. It's like almost good. Similar situation to what happened with what's it called? What was that game? The game that I got tired of that we were talking about earlier. Luigi's Mansion. I had a similar situation to that where I just hit a wall that was annoying and the game wasn't like fun enough to keep me going. So I kind of just burnt out. And that's where we're at. That's the list, chat. I don't want to read it off all the way, but I can read off the must-haves and the excellence. So from top to bottom for podcast listeners, it is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Splatoon, the DLC as well, Bowser's Fury, Mario Party Jamboree, Pokemon Sword, ARMS, Fire Emblem, Three Houses, a Hyrule, what is this game called? Freaking Cadence of Hyrule. That's what it's called. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, WarioWare, Move It, Metroid Dread, and Pocket Card Jockey. That's the final list. Do all the things, like, comment, subscribe, go to the main channel, subscribe there if you're not subscribed already. If you're on podcast services, rate the podcast. It helps a lot with placement in the stores and all that. And that's something that I need a lot because we're relaunching it. It's starting again. So the better that the podcast does, the easier it is to do stuff like get guests and, the easier it is to justify recording it, because obviously this is a long podcast and you guys said you like it. So if you like it and you want more, that's what you do to ensure that you get more. But anyway, I miss doing this. I like doing this podcast. It's a fun time. Everybody check out Dusty and whatnot. Okay. Goodbye.